Check 1 2 1 2. Hello, hello, 1 2 1 2. Let's see if this audio is. I don't know how to audio is because I had to reset stuff because I had to restart the computer. So some stuff is reset. So I don't know. Oh, you can hear me? Oh, awesome. Hi, Jago. Welcome. Yeah, this is the pre-show. The pre-show. That way I'm trying to set up. I can't find the only thing is I can't find my earbuds, which is extremely inconvenient. I don't know where I put them. So I'm using my other headphones, which is not a problem for any of you. It's fine, but for me, I think I've got a package coming. So like I have to keep one cup off my ear so I can, just in case the door goes. Because I think a package might be coming. I'm not sure if it's coming today or not. Let's see about this. It's Kirby. Do you know what, Jago? My Kirby arrived. I had got a package. In fact, 2 packages already arrived today. Jago, low key, both of those things already arrived. I'm not joking. Like a package came, like a flat thing, and I was like, "What is this?" I was like, well, "What is this flat thing?" Because I thought it was because a friend of mine sent me a package from Japan, so I thought that's what it was. And then this flat thing comes. Oh, this can't be it. I opened it up and it's Kirby, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I legit do not remember pre-ordering this. I do not remember. I forgot that I pre-ordered it, Jago. And then another package comes. I was like, oh, that must be it. And I opened it up and I was like, wait, this doesn't look right. And it was the Octobuck. Oh gosh. A friend of mine came over yesterday to help me like sort through my piles of crap that I have here and all my stuff, and he's like, oh, you need to stop buying stuff. And I was like, yeah, I will. And then I thought about it today, and I was like, okay, I'm not buying anything. Everything I wanted to buy, like in terms of Crest Edition and stuff like that, I've bought. I'm like, it's just one. And then I thought about it, and I was like, no, wait, I've pre-ordered 4. The Final Fantasy 16, the Pixel Remaster Collection, what's the other one? Tears of the Kingdom, and I got the Raincode one. The Raincode one, because I figured that is going to be worth a lot of money at some point. That's going to be worth a lot of money. So I pre-ordered all of those, and I'm like, oh no, I can't buy anymore. I can't. That's it. No more. That's it. Anyway, what I wanted to do is, before we go live, to see. I don't know if this is I just want to test this out. I thought maybe we could play the state of play in the background. What do you think? I put it on because I can't put it on full screen because then I can't see my screen. Because obviously I only have one screen, so then it's the full screen. Oh, do you know what I was gonna do and I forgot to do? I never got time to do it now. I was going to put the second screen on the TV behind. I've got a TV next to me. My TV's on the wall. And I thought, oh, maybe I can do that. Wait, hold up. Maybe I can do that. But it's a right faff. It might mess up my settings. Hang on. Display? 2 displays. The one behind me, yeah, it might mess it up. Show on 2 displays. And extend these displays. Only show on 1, oh no, extend these displays. don't think I can do this right now. I think it's messed everything up. Damn it! Can I escape from that? Oh no, it's messed everything up. Oh, okay, maybe I'll set it up next time. I can't do it now. Maybe I'll look on the chat on my phone or something. Yeah, I'll do that. Maybe I'll look at the chat on my phone. What is this? Remix? What is this? I don't want this Bossa Nova remix. What's this Bossa Nova remix? I'm playing it. I used a different video this time. This is Bossa Nova remix. Genki! No worry, Genki. Yeah, I was gonna do. I was thinking about 2 hours anyway. So it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. No worries, Genki. Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. Genki, no worries. Oh no, you probably can't hear me. Genki, no worries. That parcel survived. Alright, hang on 1 sec. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I'm back. Let me undeafen myself. Hello? I'm back. Remix! Will there be anyone in the waiting room today? Maybe you, Jago. Jago, join the waiting room, please. You like this Bossa Nova remix? What is this remix? Yeah, I know. Jago, I already have the TV behind me connected up right. It's already connected up and everything. The problem is that I need to just resize everything. So, but I can't do that right now because we're going live. In fact, we are live. Genki, do not swear. Is he here? Don't swear. We're live right now. I like this remix. Listen, this game here, right? This game called Humanity. This looks good. This was the thing that I liked the most. This game, this looks really cool.
Hello?
Genki, what's up?
Oh, you hear? Oh yeah, I'm okay. Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing alright, thanks. Yeah, sorry to hear you're a little bit under the weather.
Oh yeah,
Um,
sorry about that. Well,
I
my
can't
throat's a
hear
bit
him.
messed up.
Your throat's messed up. Oh, okay, no worries. Don't worry.
That's cool.
When you need to go, just just let me know, yeah. Jogo
Okay,
says
cool.
I can hear him now. Yeah, because
Oh, thanks, Giga. Yeah,
I've just
I
connected.
tried to.
He's on the Discord now. I've got him on the Discord now. Genki, how do you feel about this remix? Can you hear it? I guess you can't hear it through it. I don't know how to make people hear the things.
Oh yeah, I like the Wii. What was it? The Wii U music.
This is the
The eShop
Wii.
music.
This is the Wii music, but it's like a remix. Or I don't know. Maybe this was a remix that was on the thing as well. But yeah, I got the state of. I don't know. I thought I'd show the state of play on the
Oh yeah, that's
on the
cool.
on the background. But yeah, I'm fine. My package arrived. A friend sent me like a care package from Japan, so I'm really excited to open that later.
Oh cool. What's in it?
She told me what she sent.
Okay.
A couple of books, and she said she sent some instant yakisoba noodles.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, they're good.
Yes.
How did they send it? Is it Japan Post or like
I think it
another,
arrived
like,
here by.
FedEx or something?
I think it arrived here by parcel force. So I'm not sure how she sent
Oh, okay.
it. She sent it by the
That's cool.
maybe it's the post. I'm not sure actually.
Yeah, I tried sending things back to the UK recently, but like it's like quite expensive because they don't do the regular one. They do like the more expensive one you have to buy.
Oh man. Yeah, I remember like
It's
during
tracking and stuff.
back obviously like back when the pandemic was bad and everything. They weren't sending that all the post stopped to and from Japan. You can get anything.
Yeah, it stopped for a while. Yeah,
And that is how everyone. This is how I missed out on the Shifao and Leo Leia Monster Hunter Stories amiibo, and I would never forgive them. I would never forgive those eBay sellers for doing that. Oh, get mad. Forget about it right now. So I don't have that Chevelle amiibo to this day, and that's what. I'm getting cross. Okay. J2 Blue, welcome. Game Killer 64, welcome. Okay, we're gonna start now. We're gonna start.
Okay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Jodie and Genki show. This time with Genki. He is here, but he's feeling a little bit under the weather. So everyone, wish him well.
Yeah, sorry, my voice is a bit messed up.
Oh.
But yeah, doing okay.
Okay, no worries. Well, we're not going to go crazy long this week because Genki's not feeling well. And let's fade out. This is the Bossa Nova remix. I didn't even realise this was a Bossa Nova remix I put on. Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Did everyone hear it? Maybe it wasn't loud enough for everyone else. There you go. Before we. Okay. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. I really need to close that down because I want two things whirring up. Streaming and then streaming and then me streaming and then streaming this other thing. I think it makes everything slow down. So I've put this state of play in the background, so we can talk about that. We talk about the state of play, which happened. Well, it was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, yesterday. So.
Was it? Oh, for me it was this morning, I think.
You think?
It was this morning. Friday, right?
Time zones are difficult. That's so wild.
It was this morning for me.
It was this morning for you.
I woke up. Yeah, I woke up at like 6 a.m. to watch it.
There you go.
Unfortunately.
6 a.m. At least it was like at a time where you could wake up for it, right? Because I know like some of the previous ones, it's been like in the middle of the night, Japan time. So at least this one was a little bit more reasonable. So yeah, we got the Sony State of Play to talk about. We have the Famitsu sales. Genki, did you see the title that I put for this show?
No, what was it? NANI? Xbox game charts in Japan.
Yeah. An Xbox game did chart, and we'll explain why. An Xbox game charted in Japan when no Xbox games have charted for years. So, I could have put that, but no. People understand Nani. If you put that, people understand what that means. I see. Yeah. So.
That cat. You put some emoji in there. I don't know what.
Oh yeah, I put a cat because I thought I wanted a shot face, and I didn't want to put a regular one. And I thought the cat one's cute. And I've decided why am I not putting emojis in these titles? They need to have emojis in them. Okay. Yeah, I think we said hello to everyone in the pre-show, but I will just say hello to everyone who's here again. So we have Jago, welcome. ViniMac82, welcome. GameKiller64, J2 Blue, engage. And Solid Python 2099, welcome. I think that's everybody. J2 Blue says goated music. Yes. State of mid. Oh no. State of mid. Okay. It was a bit mid. Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, let's start with the. Jago said he said in the what do you call it, the Discord, there's not much to say this week. I don't think. Well, I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong, Jago. I think there is stuff to talk about. Welcome, Dank Meme Center. Do you know? I'm gonna tweet out that we're live right now. Let me do that. 1 sec. Wait, I just have to mute myself because it's like hella noisy when I'm typing. I think it comes up like really loud on the thing, on the stream.
Oh, okay.
So, oh no, I clicked the wrong thing. I clicked the wrong one. The wrong window. Where do I live? Okay, Genki, please retweet this. Tag you on it. Well, hopefully this will work. Yeah, there we go. We are live. Live in London. Well, one of us is in London. But there'll be anyone in the way. So if anyone... Okay, so I'll just give a brief rundown of how this show works, okay? So this is a discussion and call-in show. And as we started this show, it began live on Twitter Spaces, which is kind of, in essence, like a call-in thing, because you can invite anybody to come up and be a speaker. And it was always very conversational. So we decided to keep the exact same format, basically, for the transition to YouTube. So we use Discord to do that. The first part of the show, Genki and I will be talking about the Famitsu sales, and then normally after we've spoken about that, we bring people in. So if you would like to join us today, please join our Discord if you haven't already, and I will find a link to that in a sec. 1 secondo. I'll drop the link in the chat. Please join the Discord. Let me edit this link. They always say it to expire. And basically join the waiting room. Jago's in there! Jago's in the waiting. Jago, are you not working today? Jago's always like, I've got to be an adult and work. And I'm like, well, no, you don't. No, you don't. Jago's in the waiting room. Jago, we're just going to talk about these exciting Famitsu sales. 1 second though. I need to put this in the chat. Okay, that is the Discord. You're on annual leave. Exciting stuff. Exciting. Oh, okay. You're gonna be playing games all day today. Is that what you're doing? You're playing October. Oh, you got it yesterday. There you go. Loki got his Octopath yesterday for whatever reason. Mine came today because I got it from the janky Square Enix store. Okay, so let's talk about these sales here. I'm going to pause that state of play until we're ready. Okay, no, not that. Yes, this. As always, I'm going to make this large or larger. Everyone can see this, right? And then I have the... Of course, we have to look at the percentages and everything on install base. Okay, Genki. Let's talk about these software and hardware sales, because again, things are developing very interesting this year so far, year to date, and the sales were very interesting. We had, I think, two new releases chart, two new releases, and I'm going to go into it and explain for some people that just for whatever reason don't understand that Wild Hearts completely bombed. It like omega bombed, harder than I thought. So yeah, can everybody see this screen okay? I'm gonna go to chat. So this is why I need the chat in a separate way. In fact, I don't even have the window open on this thing. Right, dummy. One second. Let's open another window. No, what's the wrong link? I mean, I guess I don't need to, but it's just easier if I do it in another window, because then, like, I don't have to show it on the stream. I don't have to do it on the stream. It's fine. Okay, you can see it. It's fine. Okay. Awesome. Okay, I'm playing Kirby right now. Are you? There you go. How's that go? I never played that Wii game. I never had a Wii. Never had a Wii, believe it or not. Never had a Wii. Jago, we're gonna talk about Famitsu sales and we're gonna bring you in, okay? So hang on to your pants. Hang on. Will there be anyone else in the waiting room? I don't know if anyone else is gonna join. We'll have to wait and see. Right, so these sales. We're starting off, Genki. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah. Go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Someone said yeah, go ahead.
I said I made a tweet and I said there was like the first time ever that two PS5 games were at the top of the chart. I don't know if it's true, but probably.
It might be true. It might well be true. I'm not sure. Because there might have been other stuff where two things launched like in the same, or were not in the same week, but like near each other. But when you say top of the chart, you mean 1 and 2, not just in the top 10.
Yeah, just
No, oh, 1 and 2. Yeah, it's quite possible. I off the top of my head, I honestly I can't remember, because like there's been a lot of releases, right? So at number 1 for the second week in a row, is it second week? For this, yeah, second week in a week.
Yeah, second week.
Hogwarts Legacy. Last week it launched, yeah. It's PS5 version. As you know, the other versions have been delayed. It's kind of weird. It's like a staggered release, which is pretty unusual. But that's the way they've chosen to do this, I guess. That sold 36.9 thousand. Now, if we take a look at the percentage drop from last week, the second week drop here, which I hope this is large enough, I'll make it larger in case. You'll see here it was only 45%, which is extremely low, which is good, by the way. If it's low, it's good. Now the reason for that was because this game was very understocked and it sold out. Part of the reason for the understocking of PlayStation 5 games is because it's a lack of retailer confidence, basically, in that they're going to sell. So we've had, 2 years of low sell-through rates, and it's made retailers a little bit skittish about ordering, because it's retailers who they're buying the stock. They buy the stock from the distributors, from the publishers, right? So once they've bought it, it's theirs. They own it, so they have to deal with it. And in Japan, there is no buyback. I know in some other countries, maybe in the States, they have like the companies will do a buyback policy where unsold stock will be bought back by publishers. That does not happen in Japan. Once you've bought it, it's yours. You got to deal with it. So that's why they're so skittish about ordering too many. And so it was restocked, and due to that restock, there was only a 45% drop, which is very low. Now let's go back to the visual. This is good. Now, number 2 is Wild Hearts Genki, 26.9 thousand. And if you look at the sell-through bar, it looks like it sold through like 80%. Excuse me. And again, this sell-through is retailers not really having that much confidence in ordering too many copies. So this is a PlayStation 5. This game is only on PlayStation 5. There will not be any last gen versions. Now, I had someone tweet at me on Twitter, and they obviously realised how dumb it sounded, that what they said was dumb, and they deleted it. But you know when you get a notification and you click it, but then it's gone. So I had a notification, Genki, that someone said to me,
Oh yeah.
Because I said Wild Hearts complete, it flopped. And they're like, oh no,
okay.
How can a game that's number 2 flop? It didn't flop. If that flopped, then everything below it flopped. And I was going, oh God, really? Please? Are you really? So in case people don't understand, I will explain why this is a complete bomb. Okay, why 26,000 for this game is not good. Now, I had kind of low expectations for this game going into it, Genki. My expectations were 40 to 50k. How about you? Are you there? Okay, Genki's not there.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay, you are there. What was your predictions for Wild Hearts?
Wild Hearts? No, I never even thought about it at all.
You never even thought about it? Okay.
Yeah, like, yeah, I didn't have any expectations for it really, because I wasn't really tracking it or looking at it so much. So.
Okay, no worries. So,
yeah.
Genki did not give AF about this game. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, so I thought 40 to 50k, which is quite would still be low. The reason that would be low is because this game is not like a little rinky-dink double A game. It's not a GameCube remaster, which we're going to go into that in a second. This is a triple A game, and even can take into consideration that this was published by EA, not Koei Tecmo. There was a developer, but published by EA, and they made it PS5 only, which automatically sort of reduces its potential in Japan anyway. I do still think that they did want this game to sell. I saw the ads they had the 3D billboard and everything. They wanted this to sell something. Okay, so this is a triple A, essentially it's a Monster Hunter clone. This studio, Koei Tecmo, has made the Monster Hunter games before in the past. I think it's Tokiden. I think maybe I've got the name wrong. I'm sure someone knows what I'm talking about. But the last.
Oh, yeah, that's the right name.
That's what I know. That's what I heard. The last one flopped.
Similar to.
The last one they had flopped. So this is a completely new IP. But there's a notification, Genki. What's it? Imbar Sames just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing, Imbar Sames. Welcome to the Jodie and Genki show, where we just nerd out and talk about
Thanks for subscribing.
Sales. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you.
You get a cute panda.
You get a cute panda. Who doesn't like a cute panda? So, let me go back to that window. Where's that window at? Okay, hold on for this. Mistake. Okay, so yeah, so this is a game. Not only that, the game in essence could be very appealing to Japan because they've made it with a kind of a Japanese aesthetic, and it is a monster hunting game. Now, unfortunately for EA and Koei Tecmo, and probably unbeknownst to them, uh, Monster Hunter Rise, which is the latest Monster Hunter game, was ported to PlayStation and on Xbox. So that's less, obviously that's less relevant in Japan. Like a month, like not even like a couple of weeks or so. When did that come out? A month, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, something like that. So I don't think they knew that was going to happen because I think that affected the potential of this game, not just in Japan but worldwide. Because Monster Hunter is a known quantity. People know about that game. Plus, Monster Hunter Rise has been out for a couple of years, so people know that particular game is good. So, and as I said to you before, Genki, people have limited money and they have limited time, and that game is actually cheaper. This is like full price. Like it's 8,818 yen. Okay, that's expensive. Whereas Monster Hunter Rise launched on PlayStation. It was digital only, so unfortunately, we was unable to track it. But it launched, I think, at a lower price. I'm not sure what the price was, if it was a budget price or whatever, but it was at a lower price. So that affected this. So 26,000, even for a brand new double A game, wouldn't be good. So like my expectations, that the fact that this came in at like half of what I thought it was gonna be, is really bad for a triple A game that has sort of that had potential to it could have potentially have been appealing. I think if it had been in a window by itself with no Monster Hunter in sight, which I think they thought they was going to be in that position, because they're like, okay, so there's going to be a portable monster. Everyone knows they always do the portable Monster Hunters, right? So we're going to do portable Monster Hunter, and then Monster Hunter World. The next Monster Hunter World is years away. Oh wait, we're good. Launch, and yeah. So that's what happened. So this is a flop because this was the considerable cost of this game, of what this would have cost to make and market, which is a lot more than old ass GameCube ports. I can tell you that, a hell of a lot more. So yeah. So if we look, we're gonna look at Tales of Symphonia Remastered, which is what I'm referring to, which outsold Wild Hearts. And if we look at a game that a notorious flop from last year, which was Soul Hackers 2. Now that sold over 40k, right? And that was a flop. So if that sold over 40k and that's a double A game and that flopped, what do you think about Wild Hearts? So it's not good, unfortunately. And it potentially may not have done well in other territories as well. So yeah, that's what I want to say about Wild Hearts. Okay, number 3, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, 23.5 thousand. Number 4, Tales of Symphonia Remastered. Now we can talk about this. This sold 21.8 thousand. And we're going to get onto there was a PlayStation 4 version. Was there a PlayStation 5 version of this game, Genki, or was it just PlayStation 4?
I think it was just PlayStation 4. Yeah, wait. I'm not sure. I'll have to check. But there wasn't a PS5 version in the chart. So.
Okay, there wasn't a PS5 version in chart. Genki's going to check, because sometimes there are PlayStation 5 versions and they don't chart. So it's a possibility. I just can't remember off the top of my head whether there was one or not. There might have been. Sometimes they will make a native version for PlayStation 5. What's Genki's doing now? I'm going to take a look at the chat.
It's just Switch and PS4.
Just Switch and PlayStation 4.
PlayStation 5 version.
Okay.
This one.
Dank Community Center said Monster Hunter kind of already have an established base, and Wild Hearts just feels like a pale comparison to it. Yeah, unfortunately, they had some good ideas in there, like the tricks, the building tricks, the things, which is good. But like I said before, and I've gone into this before, I think the main problem was the monster designs. In my opinion, it's the monster designs, and that they were just uninspired. They just look like regular animals but huge, and then a whole load of stuff stuck on them. So we went through like a gameplay video yesterday, which showing some of these animals. Because they're all they're all based on animals, and when we looked in the video, it was like, oh look, there's another. It looks like a rat thing, but there's a whole bunch of like grass or flowers and stuff growing on it. It was just like animals. Then I was like, you know, the designs were kind of, anyway. I'm not going to it again. Like, I feel like the designs were some of them a bit overcomplicated. When you look at some of the most popular monster designs, they're often quite simple. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember in one of the articles they said like they didn't want to like bring back Torquiden. They just made this one and tried to make it more like appealing to the West, like a Torquiden but for the West, is what
with a Japanese aesthetic.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure how well it's working, but yeah, we'll have to see how it sells in like the States.
Yeah, we have to wait for NPD. So number 5, Splatoon 3, with an additional 12,958. Now I forgot, there was another new game this week. I completely forgot. Theatre Rhythm Final Bar Line also launched, and I think the sales of this are underwhelming. Not sure what you think, Genki. I'm gonna come back to Tales of Symphonia in a sec. We're gonna talk about that in a bit more detail. Theatre Bar. Oh my god! The name it's kind of a weird.
Theatre Rhythm.
It's
I think you can say it either way.
Theatre Rhythm.
Yeah, you can say whatever.
I don't know. It's a made up word.
It's basically just theatre and rhythm mushed together.
It's a portmanteau, but it's difficult. Okay.
It's really good. Like I've been playing it for like hours and hours. It's really good. Like the jam, like the music in it's really awesome.
Oh really? I heard it's good.
Yeah, it's super good. I got Switch version, and then I got a review code from Square Enix.
You got a review code? Yeah. Genki out here getting review codes? Oh my god, Genki's made it. Holy crap!
Just from Square Enix.
Oh, okay, so I see how it is now. You see now I know. Genki's told me. I know that he's a Square Enix shill. I'm never going to trust anything he says again about Square Enix. When I go into my Square Enix rants, you'll know that my Square Enix rants are authentic. And I do have a Square Enix rant today ready. I have one. I just realised I have one. Anyway, Theatre Rhythm Final Bar Line on the Switch sold 11.5 thousand. Sell-through rate's not that great. It's like 40%.
Yeah, I thought it would have sold better, especially on the Switch. Like, it should. Yeah, maybe it's the price or like the marketing in Japan.
Marketing.
Like, I'm not sure why it didn't sell. It didn't sell great.
It didn't sell great.
It should have done a lot better, in my opinion, because the game is like super fun.
It's a really good game. It got really good reviews. I think
good review from Famitsu as well. I think
when you compare it to like the previous entry, it underperforms compared to that, even if you take digital consideration, because I think that one did over 100. I'll just check, man. I don't know off the top of my head, but it sold a lot better than. Okay, Genki needs to mute, please. Genki, I'm gonna mute you. He's blowing his nose. Wait, are you done? Sorry. Okay, no, it's fine. Sorry. It's fine. No, it's alright. Okay. So yeah, there is a PlayStation 4 version of this game, and it's further down the chart, so we'll get into that. Number 7 is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with 9.2 thousand, and then number 8 we have the PlayStation 4 version of Tales of Symphonia Remastered, 7.5 thousand, and again the sell-through rate not that great. What was the sell-through rate of the other one? Okay, so the Switch one was a bit better. So, what's interesting about this game is that, and yeah, people are not people are kind of not happy with Bamco, what they've done with this game. Okay, so that's a whole another thing. They're not too happy because this is essentially the so it's a remaster of the PS2 version was remastered for the PS3, and then this is a remaster of that remaster, the PS3. The problem with that version is the one that they made for the PS2. Was it? They made it for the PS2, right? One for the PS2 is that at the time they locked it to 30 frames, whereas the original release on the GameCube was 60 frames. So everyone wants that one. The problem is with this one is that it even if you run it on PC, you can't speed, and you try to speed it up, it doesn't work because the animations are tied to the frame rate the way they made it back then, and it just makes everything, all the animations go weird and janky, and they're just flopping all over the place. So it doesn't work. You can't even mod it or anything. Apparently maybe the source code for the GameCube version is lost, and that's why they keep using this version. Plus, I think it has extra content from the GameCube version, but people want that one because it has higher frame rate. Anyway, that aside, the Switch version did sell around 3 times more of the PlayStation 4 version, and this is interesting because for one thing, the Switch version had issues. Now you're probably thinking, wait, Jodie, are you trying to tell me that an old ass GameCube game cannot run on the Switch? That is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. There's no reason this game can't run on the Switch. It's not even that it can't run. It's like actual bugs. It's like bugs in. It's not even that it's not running like properly. It's like actual bugs in the game. Like it's you know the battle transitions when you like they have in these Tales games. It's like it looks like the screen shatters apart. You know those battle transitions I'm talking about, Genki. They're completely missing. I don't know how. On the Switch version, battle transitions are gone. It just fades to black. So it's weird things like that. And then it's like certain areas where they've done. It's other things like that where there's stuff missing and there's bugs and all stuff like that. So again, Bamco done a poor job. They probably knew that this was the version that was going to sell the best, and they made the least effort of it. So people aren't happy with them for that. And I think I have the oh lord, why do I have this open? I think I tweeted out what the previous Tales remaster sold. Do I have it here? What's the previous Tales?
That's a shame. That is like buggy and messed up.
It's buggy and messed up, yeah.
Yeah, because the old GameCube one was like really beloved by a lot of people, so
it was,
yeah. It's a shame they messed it up so badly.
What? Oh no, this isn't my old tweet. This isn't a new one. It's not an old tweet. Where's my new stuff? 1 second. I'm sure I tweeted out the figures for what it sold. Sorry, what the previous one sold. The previous. Oh yeah, okay. So the last Tales remaster was Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. So for that one, the PlayStation 4 version sold 38,000. The PlayStation 5 version sold 25,000, and that was launched in like 2019. So that's a previous one. So you can see there's kind of like a reversal of the trend where now the Switch version, even for something where that's kind of more recently been associated with PlayStation, like the more recent releases and stuff like that, it's still selling more on the Switch because essentially PS4 sales are like collapsing in Japan, so that's why that's happened. But you can see that it's still the new remaster sold less than Vesperia, and it may have been that because people were aware of some of those issues. I'm not sure, but yeah. So number 9 we have Minecraft at 6.5 thousand. Number 10 we have Nintendo Switch Sports, 5.7 thousand. And then we just run through the other stuff in the chart that I want to point out, because there's a couple of things we're going to point them out, and we're going to kind of like run down. So at number 11 we have Gran Turismo. Now this, I've already explained many times, this is there because it is it's part of a bundle. It's a digital code in one of the PlayStation 5 boxes. That's why they just suddenly chart like this. and come up. And we've got a couple of other examples of that, and why it's only the PlayStation 5 version of this game, and it just started appearing in the charts when these bundles appeared. So that is why that's there. Fire Emblem Engage still hanging on a little bit. It's sold almost 200,000 physical. So, but this game is one of the games that's going to have a really high digital rate because of that voucher program thing. Now, number 15 is very interesting, Genki. Number 15. And this was a surprise to a lot of us, right? In the sales community, because when it came up, people were literally like, "NANI? What? What's happening here?"
Oh yeah.
So number 15 is Forza Horizon 5 on the Xbox Series X, and this is the Series X version of this game, and it sold, quotation marks, 3.9 thousand, and you'll see here the cumulative is 6.4 thousand. So what is going on here? Well, there is a bundle that launched like the previous week, right? A bundle of Xbox Series X bundle with Forza Horizon 5, because there's no reason why this game would suddenly chart now, just again out of the blue. When it launched, when did this game launch? It was years ago, right? This game's like 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah, it's like 2 years old.
Right, so this is a 2 or 3 years old game.
Almost 2 years old.
So in order for this to have sold physical copies, if you are to believe that it just suddenly came into the chart, there would have to have been this amount sitting around on shelves, nearly 4,000 copies sitting around on shelves for 2 years, which is unrealistic, because they would have just gone on fire sale and they would all be gone. You wouldn't have that many. And for many of you that follow Genki and see his photos in the stores and everything, there's hardly any in the stores have an Xbox section, and those that do have very few, like a handful of physical games. And Forza Horizon did launch physically in Japan when it originally released. So I will actually find that bundle. What are your thoughts about this, Genki? I have to.
Oh yeah, it was quite surprising because it's the first time it's happened in like 7 years almost, which is kind of crazy. Like an Xbox game hasn't been in like the retail charts for that long. Yeah, it's kind of crazy if you think about it. But yeah, so I was kind of surprised. I wasn't expecting that, but it makes sense considering like we've been getting these like GT bundles and Horizon bundles always popping up in the charts.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that like once Xbox finally gave some Series X stock, and then they came up with their own bundle with the Forza, that is actually charting. Oh yeah, I doubt there isn't like a physical copy of the game in the box, right? It's just like a code.
It's
right?
it's a code, yeah.
But
so I'm looking.
because it's like a physical sale, they count it. I
Yeah.
guess.
So basically, even if it's a code that's come with a bundle, they count it as a physical sale, but they don't count or do they count codes that are sold at retail? I don't know. No, actually they do, because that code. Remember that Kirby digital game charted?
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
Right.
Charted too.
So I'm looking for that. Right, has it dropped off this chart? I thought it was in the top 100. I am looking on Amazon. Well, we can go over Amazon as well.
Oh yeah. The last Xbox game to chart in the top 30 was Final Fantasy 15.
Wow.
And that was in 2016, I think, like when it released.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it didn't sell that well. It sold like 3,000 or 4,000 units.
And that was the last one. And that game,
Yeah.
if it sold 3,000 on physical on Xbox, it sold around like 700k on.
It was 700 on PS4.
Yeah.
And then like 3,000 something on Xbox One when it first released. Final Fantasy 15.
Okay, so I'm trying to find this bundle. Where's it gone?
Oh, the bundle. Yeah, it should be on Amazon Japan.
It was literally on. It was in the chart.
X.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was there, but it's dropped out now. But that's what I'm trying to. I typed it in and I can't find it. Xbox. What?
Yeah.
I'll
I
just
found it funny, like they waited so long to like send some new stock in, and they only did it like once the price increase happened, and they have this new bundle.
right. But you know the reason they do these bundles like that is to give you the illusion of value. So you think, oh well, I'm getting a game for like almost free. I'm saving money.
Yeah,
I'm not. It's not costing me more. I'm saving money. When there's codes
it's
costing me,
disguising.
it's disguising it.
Yeah, disguising the price increase.
Why can't I
Yeah,
find
I
it?
think Sony did the same thing, like with the Horizon bundles.
Somebody send me a link to that to the Amazon Japan Xbox Series X
Oh, okay,
Forza
I'll
bundle.
send you a link.
I can't find it, Genki. I can't find it. Wasn't it in this chart? It was there.
Oh, like yeah, it's there, but it's just the box, but it's got like a little Forza picture in the top corner.
Yes, I want to see the Forza.
Like,
I want to see the Forza picture, please. Please,
it's
please.
not. It's not. It's not. It's nothing special.
It's nothing special, but I'm trying to prove a point, Genki. I'm trying to prove a point.
And I'll send that to you on the Discord. Is that?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Put the link in there
Oh, where did you send it? Oh, you sent it to the DM'd me. Okay, okay.
in the Discord.
Thank you. What happens if I open that? Okay, here it is. Alright. I'm gonna wait, let me just make sure I'm not signed in. Okay. I am not signed in. I'm not. It says delivers to the United Kingdom because it's just tracking me. It's tracking me. What oh god, what is happening here? Genki, help me! Help me! Okay, never mind. I did
What's
it.
happening?
I did it!
Oh, okay.
I was bringing it up
Good
to you, but this I've stopped now.
Oh, good. No.
Okay, so it says currently unavailable. If we change, I think we changed that to 601 8501. Apply. I wonder what postcode that is. I don't know. Oh, it's a Japanese postcode. I just thought of it off the top of my head. Okay. So if you do that, yeah, you can request invitation. Available by invitation, as you can see here. So yeah, just tie demand items. So they have them, but you can't. They're not doing international delivery. So I had to type in a domestic postcodes to get that up. So if we see here, if you can see here, this box, yeah, and it says that it's a Forza bundle, but you can see like the little picture on the corner there, Forza Horizon 5. And then the other thing I want to look at, it might have it on here. I don't know. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's the release date of this bundle. Look at the date. Can everyone see this? The release. Oh, for fudge's sake. Where did it go? The release date here. February 17th, 2023. What's the date today? 24th of February. Right? And then what's the sales period here? This what? What doesn't it say on there? Yeah. 13th of February to February 19th. Right? 13th of February to February 19th. This bundle released on February 17th.
It's like 3 days tracked.
3 days tracking. So, I think I have proved my point. That it is a bundle and that's why it's there. Does everybody understand? Everyone understand? Okay. I can do the same thing for the other bundle because people like to say, oh no, no PlayStation 5 Gran Turismo, it's trying. It's not, it's a bundle. Okay, so next we have the PS4 version of Theatre Rhythm Final Bar Line. That sold 3,600. And again, the sell-through, not that great. So with the
Yeah, green's not good
so
for new releases.
So what did I say? It was 6. What did I say? It was 3,000. Oh, that's not a lot. Yeah, God. Okay, this game didn't do well, which is very, very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate.
I think they spent most of their efforts like doing the international promotion. Like they didn't do much of the promotion in Japan, I don't think.
See, this is why I'm worried about Octopath Traveler 2. Square Enix. There's a Square Enix rant coming up. Yeah, and then we have some of the usual suspects, of course. Pretty much all the rest of it is usual suspects, apart from a bundle. Horizon Forbidden West, that sold, quote unquote, 2,000 to 200. Okay, and Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak set also charted, and Bayonetta 3 is back again. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the hardware, Genki. Well, in fact, you want to talk about the hardware? Is your voice okay?
Okay, yeah, I can just go through it quickly.
Yes, I will find
Okay.
it on the screen somehow. 1 second. No, wait, not that. Where's my tweets? I need my stuff. I have to. We're doing it live. I have to go
Okay.
where I tweeted here. Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, we'll step it up. Okay, so yeah, this week, PlayStation 5 was the top selling console in the hardware charts again, and this is like the fourth week in a row it's been the top, and like sold more than Switch. So like 1 month of like being the top, that's like really good, I think, for PlayStation sales. It's like quite impressive and better than what I thought it would be doing at this time of the year. Especially when at the start of the year it was like 40k or something. I didn't think it would get like this like to 90 or like close to 100k a week. So yeah, to see it doing that, it's good for PS5. But yeah, the software sells is like a different matter, but at least the hardware is selling at the moment. So yeah, it sold 88,653 this week, and slightly down from last week where it sold 93k. But yeah, it's still quite good for PS5 sales in Japan. And then next was the Switch, which sold 48,800 800 units this last week, which is down from 55k last week. Yeah, I guess like the Switch is in stock everywhere, so I guess it's like just reached its like market saturation. Probably like most people have a Switch already, so I guess the sales are starting to slow down in Japan. But it's already at 28 million, so that's like already like crazy numbers for any console in Japan. So I think yeah, that's why it's slowing down, and maybe once Zelda comes out, it will pick up again, closer to like 100k. But maybe until then, it's hard to see it. Maybe because yeah, it seems like it slowed down a bit. And then next we have Xbox Series, which sold 6,600 units this week, and that's up from 3,900 last week. And yeah, the main reason it was up because of the bundle with the Series X. It's the Series X sold 4,000 units, which was up from last week where the Series X sold 506. So yeah, with that new stock, made the numbers jump up a bit. The Series S is actually down from last week. It's sold 2.5 this week, and last week was 3.4.
And Genki, I just want to quickly point something out. The
Uh-huh.
hardware sales of Xbox Series X on here, it says it was 4,015, right? And then if we look at the software sales for the Forza Horizon 5 in the chart, it's 3,943. So basically that is within a margin of error, is what I'm saying. That all those pretty much all those Series X that sold were this bundle, basically.
Oh yeah, most of them it seems like, yeah. Yeah, there could still be like one or two of the regular ones like that they still have, like but yeah, I think yeah the majority of those 4,000 was definitely that new bundle. Yeah. And then next is the PS4, which sold an extra 1,500. And then last was the 3DS, which sold 79 units this
Somehow.
week. So yeah, they're
Somehow.
finding those 2DSs, digging them up
You
somehow.
know the store is the eShop on the 3DS is closing in like a month.
Oh yeah, it's closing. Yeah, and the Atlas are doing like a big sale of their games. I think they did a sale before, but they're
They
doing another
did.
one.
So they're doing a fire sale because the store's closing down. The thing is that because they're doing all their games on the Japanese eShop, that for people that don't know that the 3DS is region locked. right? So yeah, you
Yeah,
have
that
to
sucks.
have each region to
I
play.
bought I bought a whole new 3DS just to play Majora's Mask in
Oh,
English.
yeah.
I got
So yeah,
two. I got
that's wild. So yeah, basically, I was like, oh, I tweeted out, oh, I hope Atlas would put their games on sale in other regions, but I completely forgot that this is most of those games were published before they was acquired by Sega, and they were in other regions they were published by, like in Europe they were published by third party publishers. So this, it's like all different it's all different publishers, so they might not necessarily go on sale. So most of them, I think Alex was acquired in like 2014 maybe, and so most of those games came out before that. Maybe not Persona Q2 was like 29. Oh, that was an issue. Why did they release that game on the 3DS in 2019? Don't get me started on that. That was a dumb idea. Why then people are like, screw the 3DS. Yeah, there's a lot of good games for anybody that still wants to go on the 3DS and that wants to get some of those games. There's a lot of really good games from Atlas and a lot of other companies. One of the issues is that there's DLC, these games have DLC, right? That you can download from there, and that was one of the issues with Fire Emblem Fates, that you can only get the Revelations path via the in-game menu. And I don't know, the time might have expired because they were closing that one early. So the time might have expired to actually buy that. So yeah, so Nintendo low-key encouraging piracy by closing these stores down. So yeah, there we go for the hardware sales. Yes, I'll quickly give my thoughts. PlayStation 5 has been extremely strong for, as Genki said, about 3 weeks. Nintendo Switch is down, obviously, year on year, and is down a bit from last week as well. So Switch is has sold extremely well. The total, as you can see here, lifetime 28,300,000 lifetime. So it's sold extremely well. So it's like sixth sales year, approaching its seventh sales year, right? So inevitably sales are going to dip, but in comparison to previous platforms, like if we compare it to the 3DS and the DS, right, they're kind of closest comparisons, their sales had like collapsed by this point. So that's what I mean when I say it's still selling well for its age. The other thing I want to point out here is that year to date, PlayStation 5 has sold 509,000, and the Switch has sold 587,000. So with another one or two good sales weeks, the PlayStation 5 will outsell for the year. For year to date, it will outsell it. Now, although these hardware sales are strong, we're still having these low software sales. And I want to talk about this just briefly here. Is that we had, essentially what we have in the charts for PlayStation are games that literally just came out, right? Which will always, even a game that flops, a game that sells 26,000, which is a flop, will still chart. It will still be in the top 10 because that's going to be the threshold will be between like what's the threshold to get in the top 10 this week? Like 5,000. So a game that sells 26,000, of course it's going to chart even if it's a flop, right? So we have games that recently came out. One that sold extremely well, Hogwarts Legacy, that flopped, and then games that just came out. Tales of Symphonia Remaster, Theatrical Rhythm just came out, and then the other games are bundles, right? So that is not good. It's still not good. So hardware is still extremely strong, but software is barely picking up. It hasn't really changed. It hasn't. The only thing that's changed is that there were new releases. Really, if there weren't these new releases this week, and there was no bundles, then there'd be like one game in the chart. That's what I'm trying to say. That's not good. That really isn't good. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I've proposed scalping uh the scalping hypothesis, and I found even more photos and stuff. Like I'll post them later. I found even more photos of what's been going on for the past 2 years, and when you can kind of see it, you can kind of understand that, because the alternative is, if that is not what has been going on, then there's just really really low software sales. So like I said, even if you even if you be really generous and say, well, there's a 50% digital rate. Okay, so let's assume that there's another 50%. Increase all these sales by 50%. It's still bad. That's the problem. So yeah, so what we're gonna do, Genki, is we're gonna look at the comments, and then we're gonna bring. We've got a couple of people in the waiting room that I've been hanging on, and I did try and condense that discussion as quick. We did it in an hour, Genki. We did it in an hour, so we've got that down. So Genki, would you like to read these comments?
Oh yeah. Where should I start? Where did
I can't remember. You start wherever you feel.
Ethan Jory says VR is so niche that it can get away with releasing nothing for it. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, my issue with it was just the price. Because it is really good tech, and yeah, it is niche. Like PSVR 1 just sold 5 million units, and like I think there was like 100 and something PS4s that were sold. So yeah, it is a very small percentage of like the market, and yeah, probably be similar for PSVR 2, especially considering the super high. Or not, it's not super high if you compare it to other VR, but just compared to the normal PlayStation 5, it's expensive. Yeah, so I guess that's why it's hard to make big like AAA investments into VR, like when the market is so niche. But apparently it is profitable for those that do it, but it is very niche. Like that's yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully it does better than PSVR 1, but we'll have to wait and see. And Jago says middle of January 20th for console release is when Monster Hunter Rise came to PS4, I think. Yeah. And Jago, pretty sure Soul Hackers sold 51k first week.
Oh, was it 51? Well, then it makes that even more. It makes even worse. Even worse. Yeah, it makes Wild Hearts even worse.
Was that Wild Hearts? Oh yeah,
Wild Hearts sold 26,000.
Yeah, that's quite bad, especially for Japan. Yeah, my thinking was like, this game's not for Japan, so like maybe that's why it's that bad.
Even bearing that in mind, I thought it was going to sell 40 to 50k.
Yeah, I mean that would have been better. Yeah, maybe because it was next gen only, so like it hampered the sales a lot. But yeah, it's sad for EA and Koei Tecmo trying to make a AAA game. But I don't think that game cost 100 million. Like what was that game? Saints Row. So maybe they won't lose that much. Maybe it just cost like 50 million or something like that. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. J2 Blue says people really tried to discredit you, Jodie. Bunch of clowns.
Well, I had some people come and they just troll basically, and just say, well, you don't know what you're talking about, or they're not really making a point. They're not really. I'll have a discussion, and I will even say if I'm open to, like, I get things wrong. So someone's gonna say, oh, you got that wrong. I'll be like, oh yeah, my bad. And when they come and they show me the other thing, and I'll be like, oh yeah, thanks a lot for giving the information. Because if I'm wrong, and then you give me the correct information, then I'm right. Because now I have the correct information, I can be right. So that's what I always want. But when people just come being like combative, and they just want to say you're wrong, but not really providing evidence or making a point. Like I said, people came when I said I think Forspoken's flopped. This is flopped when the MPD came out. And they're like, no, a game that, how can a game's in the top 10? It's in the top 10. And I had to try and explain a game can chart in the top 10 and still be a flop because of the expense of that game and expectations that that game would have had, which would have been a lot higher than the thing that I was comparing it to was Fire Emblem Engage. The reason I was comparing it to that was because that was charted higher than it without digital, which is not good.
Oh, okay.
And it was on a single
Yeah.
platform, whereas Forspoken was on PC as well. On the PC, and then someone tweeted to me, no, it's PlayStation 5 only in MPT. They do not count Steam. They do not count PC.
Yeah,
and
that's
it
it.
literally says on this. They wrote that underneath the, because I tweet out the image of
Yeah.
the thing. It's there in the small print. Steam sales are counted in here, and they tweeted that to me on that tweet. This is what I'm talking about. They just want to
It's
say
Twitter,
you're wrong.
there's a bunch of trolls and people that can't read properly on there, so it's unfortunate. But yeah, yeah. But yeah, I'll be interesting to see what Square Enix say about Forspoken and how it. Like, I was wondering what the budget was for that. It'd probably be over 100 million, I would imagine, because it's like AAA.
It's been in development for a long time as well. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
And
So, yeah. If it was like 100 million, like AAA level type game, then yeah, it's not the best. But
Yeah.
hopefully they can at least break even somehow. That's what I'm hoping.
I hope
But we'll have
so.
to see.
I hope so. Including the marketing budget, I think it was there because that game would have been an absolute minimum of 50k to develop. I think it was more than not 50k, 50 million. So I think it was over
Much
50
more than
million.
50 million. Yeah, much more.
But I'm just saying bare minimum, and then normally you have to
yeah.
double, and you have to add, you have to double it to get the marketing budget because they normally spend almost the same amount on marketing as well. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see what they say in the next results. Be interesting to see. But yeah, I think they'll do much better this year once Final Fantasy 16 releases. So hopefully that one saves them from and Final Fantasy 14 obviously always does well for them. But anyway, let's move on to the next comment. Dank Meme Center says plot thickens. That's what I was talking about. And Jago, yes, theatre rhythm is incredible. Yes, I agree. It's super fun. Like, yeah, I'm just smiling and playing, and like I got my headphones on and playing it, and it's really cool.
Oh,
I bought the Pulse headset.
Oh, you have those? Oh yeah, I have them as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I recently got them. Yeah, and it's really cool just playing it and like just jamming it out to like Final Fantasy.
Look, here they are coincidentally on the Amazon thing I'm looking at. Yeah, I do have those headphones as well. Yeah.
But it was never a high seller. Yeah, I guess the old ones didn't sell that high. But I guess being on the Switch, I would expect it to sell more. But hopefully it can pick up or be like a steady seller or something like that. Mousy, oh hey Mousy, here it says, I think Symphonia is buggy on all platforms. It's just not as good as the Vesperia port. Yep, yeah, sad about that. J2 Blue says, an Xbox game selling in Japan, and he's got a shock face. Yeah, yeah, it's quite surprising. Yeah, yeah, especially physical because Xbox don't support physical, and yeah, I'm kind of annoyed. Like Xbox, like Japan is like more physical orientated than the West, but then like Xbox don't cater to that, and they just made everything way more digital than the West. So it's kind of backwards for me. Like, but anyway, that's what they're going for at the moment. So yeah. I would prefer if they catered to Japan and like made some physicals for the people in Japan who actually want physical media. Yeah, because most Japanese Xbox players have to buy the American version if they want a physical
that's true.
box version. That's kind of sad. But yeah, Thomas Garcia says, I was thinking about getting Theatre Rhythm. Saw some vids and it looks fun. Thomas, get it. It's really good. I can't recommend it enough. It's really fun and like relaxing and makes you happy and like it's good music. So like if you're a Final Fantasy fan, then I definitely recommend it. It's really good and it's a nice chill game to play, and you can just play it for hours and hours. Just and they're like the characters are little cute, like chibi, like Final Fantasy characters. It's really cool. Yeah, so I recommend that game for sure. And then Rigo Romero says thoughts on Metro Prime Remastered, physical situation, not shipping enough copies.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I saw
sold
that.
out,
It's
man.
like sold out in America like super
It's
fast, and
sold out
people
in
can't
Europe
get it.
as well. It's sold out
Oh
here.
really?
Yeah,
Oh
I
fuck.
did. I couldn't get one.
Oh no, that's messed up. Okay, yeah, because Metroid is traditionally not a high-selling franchise. Like it doesn't do gangbusters, so I think they weren't expecting this many sales. And even though they delayed the physical release, maybe they just didn't have enough time to print enough copies. And then the release in Japan is like a week later, and Europe.
Oh,
So
right, is it?
I best pre-order mine now. I mean, Metroid doesn't sell big in Japan at all, like especially
It
compared to the West. So I
doesn't,
don't
but
think I'll have problems picking one up. But
it did.
if
I'm pretty sure it's in this top 100 on Amazon. Let's see.
yeah, yeah,
It
I
was.
don't. Yeah, definitely won't be out of stock in Japan that soon, like already. But yeah, it's unfortunate that in the West it's out of stock already. That's quite sad.
Yeah, it is. I couldn't get one. Oh, maybe it's not in this
I
chart, but
best
it
I'm gonna
was there.
pre-order it.
Yeah.
I was best pre-order it early because it's super cheap in Japan as well. It's like less than 4,000 yen, so it's really good. But yeah, it's sad that they didn't make enough. Hopefully, they print some more
Yeah,
for
I
those
think that's what's
people.
happened. Is it sold out in Japan as well?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
It's not out, yeah, because it's not out yet. So I think maybe once it releases, it'll get sold out.
Well, it's not
I
out
doubt
here.
it'll
It's
get
not out
sold
here
out
either.
before.
It's not
Oh,
out here until March.
oh, okay, yeah, same. Okay, same release date as Japan then.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think it'll get sold out in Japan, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Metroid's not that as popular as in the West.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the next one? Oh, Jager says, I didn't know that was a thing. I'm not sure what I was talking about. Also, I don't know why it released a week early in America. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I'm not sure why. Maybe they were just more prepared to have to print the copies and distribute them in America. Maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's a week early. Game Killer 64 says, Theatre Rhythm is so good. Didn't expect the multi-battle to be such a fun time. Oh, that's cool. I haven't tried the multi-battle yet. I want to try it with someone.
What's multi-battle?
You can do like multiplayer Theatre Rhythm where you're like battling against other people. And like you like chuck stuff on their screen, like these big chocobos, or like it's like you like chocobos run across the screen or something like that. Yeah, it's quite fun though, but I haven't tried it yet. I want to try it. It's like you can play against someone else.
Oh, I see.
Like compete.
That sounds good.
It's quite cool. Yeah, kind of wish I got the premium digital version instead of the standard. I think you can buy the extra premium stuff separately, so maybe look into that. Yeah, because like once you get the premium, you get like 27 extra tracks, and then the DLC, you get like a season pass for all the DLC that comes out.
Oh, that's what I want. I will get that game eventually.
And then I'll have like all the other series like Nia and Live Alive and I don't know, all these other games, music they'll put in there as well. Yeah, but it's really definitely get it. I'm playing it on Switch now mainly. I was playing it on PS5 for a bit, but portable is like just easier to play it for me on like the OLED. It's really good there. Jago says yes. I'm not sure. I think it's all about theatre rhythm.
Yeah, sorry, we're reading the comments a little bit late.
Was my on my 3DS. Oh yeah, I got the 3DS one as well. It's really cool. Vinnie Mac says that's how it should be, a correlation between hardware and the software. Heavy hardware but no software is not impressive to me. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it should have a higher attach rate for it to be like a super successful system. So yeah, the Switch has a super high attach rate. It's almost like 1 billion software now, so that's really good. But yeah, PS5 could in Japan, the attach rate's not so great at the moment. Jake, I think it's closing next week Tuesday. Oh, that sucks. I think that's for the 3DS.
What is? It's not next week. Is it next week? Shut up. Is it next week? I thought it was a month. No, it's like I thought it's the end of March.
or end of March. I have no idea when it
Yeah,
is.
because the Atlas sale says it's going on to the 29th of March. So how's that possible
Oh,
then?
okay, that makes sense then. Okay, probably end of March then.
Yeah.
Strong hardware sales. Oh, Dank meme says, oh, for Fire Emblem Fates. Okay.
Fire and Fate sold well.
Strong hard.
Oh yeah, I think it did actually.
No,
Yeah.
closing something. Yeah.
Oh,
Um. Dank meme says strong hardware sales should complement the software, otherwise it just becomes a battle of stocking. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, it's good to see two PS5 games at the top of the chart, but yeah, in terms of the rest of the software sales, yeah, I guess like if it's not a new release, then there's no softwares that like are selling continuously for that longer time in Japan. They
not
like drop
not
off the chart pretty
yeah,
quickly.
nothing that's charting anyway. Nothing that's in the top 30.
Yeah, so yeah, I hope Resident Evil should do well, and then
Yeah,
Final
that'll be
Fantasy
decently.
16.
Sonic Fantasy 6. There's a few other releases coming out between now and again. Right, so Genki, right, because we've been going on for a while, I'm going to bring Jago in. Jago, you was waiting first. Jago, welcome.
Whoa, whoa.
Hello.
There was quite a decent delay.
Yeah. Oh, what, on the show? On the stream?
Yeah.
Nice to speak to you, Jago. This is our first time talking.
Yeah, I know, right? How you doing?
I'm doing alright, because every other time you say you're working and then you need to work
Yeah.
and...
Cause I am at work on Fridays usually.
Right.
Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. You know how it is.
I know how it is, but I'm just saying, you know, just... So,
Good evening, Genki.
Genki's there. Jago, so you're playing Octopath Traveler 2. How is it?
Hey.
Octopath 2 is incredible. I love it a lot more than the first one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What are you playing
first one
on the Switch? or...
on Switch. On Switch.
Oh, cool, nice.
I couldn't get enough of the demo. For some reason, they limited it to only 3 hours. So I played the demo again on PS5. And then when I played through all those 3 hours, I played it again on PC. I love the game.
Damn.
Yeah, I love the game.
That's cool. That's good. How does it look compared, would you say, from Switch to the PS5?
So I mean, like, texture quality is very similar. But I guess the difference would be in the shadows and the particle effects and frame rate. Oh my god, the frame rate! Playing Octopath at 60 frames it's just a different experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Oh, yeah,
different
that sounds
experience. I
crazy.
love it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, you should definitely try out the demo on PS5.
Yeah, right, well, what I'm going to do is I bought the Switch version. What I'll do is once the PS5 version price comes down, I'll buy that one as well. So I have it for my collection because I haven't. But I'll take some pictures later. I have an Octopath Traveler collection. I have a load of stuff. Octopath Traveler.
Even the mobile game stuff?
Well, there's nothing physical of the mobile game, so I don't have it. But I do have the sound. No, sorry, I tell a lie. There's a soundtrack. I have the sound. I have the mobile game soundtrack, which is really good. The mobile game is actually really good. That's the thing. That's the thing that smashes it. It's actually good.
I never paid any attention.
It's good. It's like it's full of gacha, obviously. But apart from that, it's good.
Yeah, I can't do that then. I've had enough of gacha with Arknights, Pokemon Masters, Fire Emblem Heroes.
Heroes.
I've had enough.
Okay, sounds like you played a lot of these gacha games.
Oh yeah, I played too much.
Oh man.
Back when I was a 20-year-old, I played Arknights.
Back in the olden days, when you was 20 years old. Oh my god.
Yeah, in 2021. Oh no, I was 19, so 2020. In 2020 through to 2021, I played Arknights every single day, and that was not okay for my student bank account.
Oh no, you're spending money on wasting money on those mobile games. Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to live and learn.
That's the problem. Like.
You have to learn the hard way.
Yeah, the one game where I did that was like, this is years ago, right? It was this. I think it might be still around. There was this game called Marvel Contest of Champions, that I used to play, and that was like it was a pay to win gacha game. It really was, because all the characters had like star ratings, and if you bought more of this whatever currency it was, and it was randomized, like a gacha game,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to open these crystals, and then the characters would pop out the crystals, right? So I ended up spending money on that, but probably I would say it was less than £100, but it was like
That's good.
a lot.
Good.
It was more than £50, less than 100.
That's a lot less than I spent on Arknights. Let's just say that.
No, how much did you spend? I'm serious. How much did you spend?
So I realized it about halfway through 2021. I'd spent about £500 on Arknights.
No.
Total.
Damn.
It's a fun game. It's just
Jago.
I stopped playing it after that.
I'm not surprised. So you spent £500 on like what time frame are we talking about?
Oh, within about a year.
Man, look at all the things you could have bought with that £500, man.
Oh, I know. I know.
Oh my god.
I know.
Yeah,
I could have bought so much.
That's how these mobile games get you, basically.
Yeah, I had my fun with Arknights. Every now and again I open it, and then it takes like 7 years to update, so then I don't open it again.
I've heard of it because from all the that non-stop ads there were for it, but I haven't played it. Jago, did you watch the state of play?
Oh yeah, and so I mean, yeah, in quotations, because I kind of fell asleep after the Street Fighter stuff.
Oh man. Oh,
Yeah,
you
like,
didn't miss anything.
That was a good idea.
Yeah, so after I saw Cammy, then I kind of like just fell asleep, and I woke up to my friend fuming in my DMs.
About wasting
his
time.
Yep, wasted his time. Wasted his time. He should have been asleep because he has work in the morning, or had work in the morning. He's there now, but yeah, he was fuming. I thought it was pretty funny, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna go back and watch the Suicide Squad stuff because they just basically like confirmed it's from what I saw on Twitter, they confirmed that it's live service.
Yep. Not only that, the single player, which is like it's designed around co-op, right? So you're playing with bots. Yeah. You need online for the single player.
Yeah.
It's like a live service game trying to disguise itself as like a normal
good
game. Yeah.
It's trying to disguise itself as a good game. Yeah.
And the thing that kind of like is really sad about that is because like from what they showed of the game, the story sounds really good. The graphics are really good. I think the art direction is really good. I think the acting is really good. But then they showed the gameplay.
Oh, the gameplay is terrible.
And I was watching Jago. Please explain this to me, right? These are superheroes, or they're more anti-heroes, we'd say. They're anti-heroes. Why are they using guns? They have superpowers. Why are they using guns? Like the only character I really know, because the Harley Quinn was like one of my favorite characters when I was a kid. The other ones I'm not as familiar with, right? But King Shark, apparently, he's like really strong and he punches people and like can just chomp them and eat them and stuff. But he's running around with a
giant minigun.
With a minigun. How's it? Not only that, when they were shooting, right, they would like just like every character was like jumping into the air and then shooting whilst they was in the air, and then just like
the gameplay looks super samey. I was watching a Spawn Wave news wave this morning.
Yeah.
Well, not this morning, about an hour ago, and yeah, not I mean, I was watching it earlier. I was like, yeah, this does not look good. I'm glad I fell asleep.
It's really unfortunate that
people say it looks like Crackdown 3.
Yeah, because of the jumping thing.
That's what they said. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with Xbox games, but from what I saw from Crackdown, that wasn't the world breaking up and stuff. It was a lot of jumping, as Jodie said. Yeah. Yeah.
So someone says in the Vinnie Mac says, "Folks, none of these are super. I know that superheroes. I said anti-heroes. All villains or super.
Oh, they all use guns in the comics.
You're saying they all use guns in the comics? Well, Harley Quinn does, right? But they don't. They have powers and stuff. They're like strong and stuff.
They need to pick better anti-heroes then, with more variety.
or they could have designed it in some other way. I don't, like I said, Vinnie Mac. I'm not that familiar with the characters. In fact, let's bring you in here, so maybe you can explain to us about the characters.
I know
They don't
Deadshot,
have
he
powers.
just has a gun. Yeah, he doesn't have power. But I don't know the other guy. I don't know. And Harley Quinn, I know, but I don't know the other two. I haven't
No.
watched the movies. Why I
Only
don't
watched-
understand is why
only
they're
watched the
putting
first
all
one.
their money behind the Suicide Squad when they could have been using Batman or the other heroes.
Justice
to-
League. Why didn't I just make a Justice League
Yeah.
game? I've
Yeah,
no
'cause,
idea.
like, they ain't gonna sell like big numbers with the Suicide Squad. It's not that big a franchise.
I think they did the two
Yeah.
movies, and I'm like, hell yeah.
I haven't
Because
seen them.
If you think about it, Rocksteady finished the Batman game in 2015, apparently, and then around that time they were marketing the Suicide Squad movie for 2016. So yeah, and then there
So
was
it
the
all
second
it
one.
lines up, right?
Yeah, so I'm assuming they expected more.
So Vinnie Mac,
Yeah,
Vinnie Mac's
it's a bad
chat typing in the chat. You can join us, Vinnie. You're saying they don't. I'm not. I guess I can't say I'm familiar with all these DC characters, right? So you're saying they don't have powers. That's why they're using guns.
Yeah, I mean that
I'm
the
not sure if
Deadshot.
Vinny's-
What's the guy
Yeah, I
with
don't know if any.
He's just yeah, he's famous for just using guns. I don't think it's a problem that they're using guns. It's just like the type of game it is, and like
Right,
the
this
level
the
design.
lack of variety of from what we
Yeah,
saw
and
from
it
character to
seems like
character.
they'll just be doing the same stuff, like jumping around the city and then doing these weird missions, just shooting people around.
Vinny,
And, like, yeah, the story isn't that interesting.
Sorry, Genki. Vinnie Mac, we can't hear you. I just checked and I made sure you're not muted.
Apparently, I'm a bit soft in the stream. Or
Jago's a
maybe
bit
it's just-
soft.
Maybe that's just how I'm speaking.
No, I'll raise you up a little bit. There we go. I'll raise this volume a little bit. Vinnie Mac, I'm gonna take you out and bring you back in, okay? Let's see if that works. Hang on. Can I do it? Let's see. I'll unmute and see if that works.
Hey everyone.
Oh,
Hope
now we
everyone's
can
having a
hear
good
you.
day.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
That's
can
much
hear you
better.
now.
Sorry, it must have been
So,
a technical issue. Sorry about that.
So just want to say, as usual, Genki, JCat, wonderful show. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for having all of us on and doing this every week. So greatly
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I do want to kind of put a little bit of cold water on this. None of these anti-heroes, they have superpowers.
Okay, so they don't.
Quinn is
Yeah.
just- Harley Quinn is just a henchman, so maybe she's been boosted up a little bit. But Harley Quinn is just a henchman, just a popular henchman of the Joker.
Right.
Deadshot has like great aim, so you just give him a gun, he can shoot dead on. King Shark is a mutant, so maybe you can say what powers he has. And I think Boomerang, not too familiar with that character. So 2 out of the 4 are not power supervillains. They're just popular villains. That's all.
Okay.
So this game
Thanks,
looks like how it's going to be. I'm thinking it's going to be. I was talking to a couple friends about this. I'm thinking Suicide Squad is going to be akin to maybe like Sly Cooper, where each zone's going to have its own villain and you have different missions to draw out that hero. I don't know how else you can have it if you're going to have 4-player constant action all the time. I don't know how you can have a real serious single-player action-oriented game if you have 4 people on the board all the time. There has to be switching back and forth. There have to be these different sort of tower missions, equipment destruction missions. I don't know. I don't know. It is going to be interesting to see when the game actually comes out what the perception is.
Yeah, they didn't really kind of I mean, they showed a mission, but they didn't sort of explain like in the details you're saying. Yeah, maybe they'll explain more. But yeah, maybe you're right. I take it back what I said about them using guns. I think that despite that, they could have found a more innovative way to use the characters to make them more unique and individual. So they don't kind of all look like they're kind of doing the same thing from the gameplay that we saw. Like,
Yeah, they look like skins.
yeah. I saw someone say, "Oh, why didn't they could have just made these as skins in Fortnite, basically, and called it a day." You know, because like if they don't have superpowers, how are they even jumping into the air like that? That doesn't.
They had like a grapple hook kind of thing. That's what I
Oh,
saw.
is that what is it? Grapple
Yes,
hook?
that's also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harley
Yeah.
Quinn had a grapple hook, so she was just a Spider-Man clone, a Spider-Man skin.
Yeah. I'm like,
So
what? Harley Quinn's just a normal person. How she's like Spider-Maning around the same place?
exactly. So
I was like,
that's
what's
just
going on?
video games. So
Yeah. It doesn't make much. It doesn't make much sense. But I feel like they could have done something better. Now, you brought up. Who was it? Who was it? Was Vinnie Mac? Was it you that just brought it up? That you said that the Suicide Squad movie was out in 2015, or was like was.
So Rocksteady finished making Batman in 2015,
Okay.
and the Suicide Squad movie was being advertised for 2016, and then
Right.
they had a second movie that was outperformed by Sonic.
Was it? So yeah, it was. Sorry, it was Jago. So what I want to say basically is that the last game that Rocksteady made came out in 2015, and essentially they've kind of been working on this one since then.
Yeah,
so that's
for 8 years.
8 years, which is long even for AAA game development. And I think part of the problem is that it takes so long to make games, and even longer for this game, and trends change faster than that. So like the trend of like people are getting more turned off by these live service games now. So you've seen like a number shut down recently. Different ones are just shutting down all over the place. And I think that it's like, okay, they thought maybe those Suicide Squad movies were going to do better. So they're like, okay, let's base our next game on Suicide Squad, and we want to make it a live service game. And maybe they took what you said, Vinnie Mac, into consideration. We want characters that can use guns. They're not necessarily super powered. They're using guns. So when they think about, we make a live service, I think that's what they did. I think they started from live service games. Most of them, quite a lot of them, like the popular ones, are basically shooters of some kind. We need to make a shooter. What can fit with that?
So I want to bring up a counterpoint, because we have talked about this before, how long game development is. I think this game actually started off as a single player game. We probably just choosing a particular hero for a particular story, because the game's been in development for 8 years. I think because this is, one, a PlayStation 5 only game. Two, you did have the pandemic happen, so that also shifted plans. Three, you don't really have a high PlayStation 5 count up there. So you have this game that's been in development for 8 years. There's no way you're going to make your money back just to selling on the PlayStation 5. You're not going to do it. I don't care if it gets 100 on a Metacritic. You're not going to make your money back.
I see what you're saying.
So things have to change to make sure that this becomes a viable option. So I think you had to make almost like a battle pass. You had to go down that path because you're bought in for 8 years. So it's just the way game development is. This is maybe a quadruple style game, an AAA style game.
Wow.
A lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of resources, and then you probably have to pivot because of where the market is.
Wow.
So when this game comes out, we're looking at maybe maybe 6 million PlayStation 5s out. This may hit maybe 1% overall, maybe 2% if we're lucky. So you're not going to make your money back off that. This game needs to knock it out of the park, and already it has a negative press behind it. So how are you going to get that money back? I think this is just one of the drawbacks of having high budgets, extended development time. So now you have to go down this path. Now that's just me, my tinfoil hat, but that's what I think happened.
I was thinking that as well.
I think you're making. I think that's a really good point, Vinnie Mac. I hadn't looked at it like that, and it could be maybe. I mean, that extended time is suspicious. Yes, we do have to take the pandemic into consideration, of course, but yeah, it could be that they pivoted and decided to make it a live service game, because a lot of people suspect that's what happened with the Avengers, because it seemed kind of like from the story mode that's in there, people are saying it's actually very good, the story mode that's in there, and that maybe
it's a really good single player Kamala Khan story.
Yeah.
But then you're probably not going to make your money back because you probably put too much money into it. So then you have to tack on all these battle passes and microtransactions to break even. And I think that's what we're looking at with the Suicide Squad. So Unfortunately, I still wish we could still go back to the days of double A and single A games, and we are just okay with that. But with the PlayStation 5, I know Jaco, and forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. When I look at Octopath Traveler 2, that's not a game I want to play on my PlayStation 5. That is a perfect Switch game. It's not worthy to be on my PlayStation 5 So
Damn, worthy.
it's just
Yeah, I don't know about that
what I
wording,
mean
Vinnie
by that.
Mac. Not worthy. Worthy.
What I mean by that is just that the marketing of the PlayStation 5 has taught us that it's graphics and power.
It's
So when I take a look at a
graphics,
game like Octopath Traveler 2, no matter how great the game is, am I going to buy a PlayStation 5 to play Octopath Traveler 2, or am I going to play it on my Steam Deck or on my computer or on my Switch? That game is designed for those types of software. It's not designed for a PlayStation 5. A $600 machine for Octopath Traveler 2, no matter how good the shadows are.
I agree. The shadows.
So,
Those are some ray trace shadows. Vinnie Mac, I don't agree with you saying using the word not worthy, but I understand what you mean. You mean like in terms of graphically. You're not saying it's not a good game.
yeah, tongue in cheek. I was being a little tongue in cheek.
Tongue in cheek. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, I agree with you because I feel like
I agree with that.
Again, people have limited money, right? And if you are spending $600 or however regional price it is on a PlayStation 5, which is built for rendering really good graphically intense games, are you gonna buy like an Octopath Traveler 2, or are you gonna buy, I'm using it as an example, okay, right, a Forspoken, which obviously is more graphically intense game. Exactly. That's the only one I can think of. Name another game. I don't know. Someone I can think. Or
Wild Hearts.
Wild Hearts, Horizon Forbidden West, whatever. Okay, whatever game. That's more graphically intense game, because especially in the case of Octopath, that's a really good example actually, because that's a full price game. They're selling that for a full $60, right? So I know some PlayStation 5 games are $70, but it's about the same price. So it's essentially a double A game in Octopath that is being sold for full price, which a lot of them are. But when you have that choice, a machine that's built for those graphics, you're right. You're probably going to end up in a situation where people are buying because I tend to do that as well. Like, I'm going to be honest, I do that as well. Like, I'm like, okay, this game that's more graphically intense or whatever, I'm going to get that on the PlayStation 5. It depends on the game. Like a game like Octopath, right, exactly. I wanted that on the Switch in particular, because it's a good, as you say, it's a good game on the go. It was a good handheld game. I think they originally designed it with that. They designed it with that in mind in the first place. With the first game, obviously, and this game is quite similar. So, and it's turn-based, and although obviously the graphics are going to look better on a PlayStation 5 or a PC, I still want that handheld experience. But because I'm a collector, I'm going to try and get the PlayStation 5 version. Okay, because I want the Steelbook as well. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about.
Here's the good thing about this show that you guys put on, and here's the real good thing about the show that you guys put on. We will get the answer to this question next week. So
the sales,
Octopath is out today, so we'll know next week how Octopath did on the Switch versus how Octopath did on PlayStation on the PlayStation platform. So PlayStation may have a boost up because you can get it for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, but the numbers will break down on where a type of game like that falls. Especially since the PlayStation 5 numbers are boosting up, there should be some type of attach rate that goes with that. So it'll be interesting to see.
Well, I can give you a sneak preview. I can basically tell you the answer. It's going to sell a lot more on the Switch, which is kind of predictable. But when it comes between the PlayStation 5 and 4 versions, surprisingly, the PlayStation 5 version is selling better than the PlayStation 4 version, which you'd kind of think is the other way around because of there being more PlayStation 4s in Japan and the PlayStation 5 software sales not being that great. I think part of the reason for that is that the PlayStation 4 software sales are now collapsing, but then also more people are getting hold of PlayStation 5s now. So that could be part of the reason, but it's going to sell more on the Switch, but overall the sales Unfortunately, Square Enix made their bed. They made their multi-platform bed, and now they need to lie in it. So, so yeah.
Do you think Octopath being multi-platform is an issue for it?
That's not. It's not. Let me rephrase it. Because I was being facetious. It's being multi-platform isn't the issue. Actually, the issue is the marketing, and that the marketing is not as good as when it was Nintendo doing the marketing and the publishing outside of Japan. That's what's affected it. Personally, I think, because in pretty much everybody are saying across the board this is a better game than the first game. It got better review scores. People like the refinements that they've made. They like that the stories connect and everything like that. So, and logically, if you're releasing the game on more platforms, it should sell more. Because the first game, Octopath 1, was only Switch at launch, and it went to like PC like a year later, and then like a year after that, it went to Stadia. Believe it or not, that version's gone. That's lost. It went to Stadia, and then a year after that, it went to Xbox. That's what happened. Never went to PlayStation 4. For whatever reason.
Yeah, it's not on any PlayStation system.
It's not on any play. Anyway, I can probably don't want me to go into that. I can give you my reasons why I think that is. But yeah. Anyway, so logically, it should sell more. Unfortunately, Square Enix, when they left to their own devices with their marketing, it's not great. So we've seen this like multiple times at this point. Like their marketing,
unfortunately,
has not been great.
Okay. You can't tease us like that. If you know something, you got to tell us. Why wasn't Octopath on the PlayStation platform?
Not
I don't.
Not yet. I mean, they could always drop it anytime. You know.
I don't know the answer, but I can tell you what I think. Okay. So, what I think is like originally the first game was on the Switch and it had an exclusivity contract for 1 year. We know that for a fact because it went to other platforms. There is no longer any exclusivity platform, so there is nothing in theory stopping the first game being on PlayStation. Right? That's the first thing. I think basically that Square Enix they have a certain budget that they give Team Asano, right? They've got a certain budget. They don't have like the huge Final Fantasy budgets and everything. And I think Square Enix they didn't put it on PlayStation because they would have had to, because don't forget when they did the marketing deal with Nintendo essentially paid for the marketing and the publishing outside of Japan, and then when they put the game on Steam, essentially that cost Square Enix basically like nothing. They didn't market it or anything. They just dropped it on Steam, right? Then it went to Stadia. Mm-hmm. It went to Stadia because Google gave them a bag to put it onto Stadia. There's no other reason why they've been there. And then we know they got a bag from Microsoft, right? They got a bag to put it on into Game Pass, right? But who's not giving them a bag? Well, Sony's not going to give them a bag for what would be an old game at that point. That's not really the type of game they're looking for. And so Square Enix is probably like, well, we made enough money on this, it's just going to be a waste of time. So I think what happened was that unbeknownst to us, that Octopath Traveler 2 started development. So what I figured, like when I said they've got a limited budget, they probably had, with their budget, they probably had a choice. Either we can put the first game on PlayStation, or we can have a simultaneous launch of the second game and put that on PlayStation. Now, in terms of like marketing, it kind of makes more sense to put the second game rather than trying to sell the old game, because it kind of gives like a muddled marketing message. You're selling a new game and promoting them all at the same time. It's kind of easier. I think where Square Enix has made their mistake is, and they haven't made this clear in the. I know if you go and read into it and go read the website or go and look at their Twitter, you can kind of see it. But in their general marketing, it's not clear that you don't need to have played the first game in their marketing. I think that's where they made their mistake with the marketing. So there might be people on PlayStation that are put off and they're like, well, we ain't got the first game. Why am I going to play the second? Why am I going to play that? Even though it's completely it's separate. Everyone listening, you do not need to play the first game. You can just play that one. right? But I think their marketing message was a bit muddled. So yeah, in my opinion, it's like they didn't want to go and do a whole new, or spend like essentially a whole new marketing budget to. You've got to market it in every region, which they would have had to have marketed and published it themselves. You've got to pay for certification in every region. You have to do most likely physical copies and everything. You have to go through certification with PlayStation, all of that. They didn't want to spend all the money on that, so they decided to use their budget for the second game. That's what I think happened. It's like for example, when Monster Hunter Stories 2, there's a Monster Hunter Stories 2. There's a Monster Hunter Stories 1 was on the 3DS. Later on, they made a HD version on Mo. You can go and buy it now on the Google Play Store or whatever. It's a single screen, because obviously it was 2 screen on the 3DS. There's a single screen HD version just sitting there on mobile. They did not port that to Switch. They just put the second game on Switch. They did not port that anywhere other than mobile. I was like, what the hell? Why are they not? It's just there. Like, why would they not do that? They don't want to spend the money. They didn't want to spend the money and try and bring that game over at the same time that you're trying to market a brand new game. That's what I think. That's why the game never came over. They never put it on any. It's just on mobile. It never went anywhere else because you have to spend that money again, and you might not get that return. And I think Team Asano has a limited budget. Team Asano, for maybe people that know here, they're like on the Enix side of Square Enix. So the Enix side of Square Enix, they work with a lot of external studios and stuff. So the reason that Team Asano is able to put out like multiple, like look how many games they've put out recently. I know they're double A games, but they partner with other studios that produce the games. I think this one might have been was it Acquire? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's Acquire.
Acquire, right. So I don't know which studio was the first game. I can't remember.
I don't know. Let's see.
I don't know if that was Acquire or not. It might have been a different studio. So that's how they make their games. And I think like when they made Bravely Default.
It says Square Enix. It says Square Enix did it themselves.
No. They definitely they made it with an external. That they definitely.
Oh yeah, it says Square Enix Business Division 11 and Acquire.
Oh, so it was Acquire as well.
I guess BD 11 is Team Asano.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's Team Asano, and yeah, as I said, they're like the NX side. So they do it with external studios. That's how they manage to produce so many of these games. They're not just doing it like a completely internally, like a mainline Final Fantasy. So that's what I think, Vinnie Mac. What do you think?
Well, I don't want to come off as a broken record here. I think if Square Enix saw value in putting these games on the PlayStation platform, they would have put them on the PlayStation platform. I don't think the audience is there anymore. I think just times have changed. These Super Nintendo-esque style games, I think that moved on past just I'm old. I'm 40 years old, so that's my childhood. So I'm gonna go where those games are. So if they're on the PlayStation, I'll go to the PlayStation. They're on the Switch, I'm gonna go on the Switch. But you have all these Team Asano style games. They all came to one platform. Not one of them, except for Octopath True, came to any other platform. Any other platform substance. Game Pass, I don't really put them in the conversation yet. So it's not on Xbox, it's not on PlayStation, all these Team Asano games. I think because that's where the market is. I think because Octopath Traveler 1 did so great, and this was an experimental game that just blew it out the water. And then I believe, what was the next game that they had? Bravely Default, I think, kind of after that.
Yeah.
Bravely Default too. So I think you have these games that you have 2 successful games back to back on one platform. That's where the audience is. So that's where they're going to get their games. And it's probably low development costs. Again, you are dealing with probably the lower spec machine, so it fits perfectly. And then if you want to port the game around, I think if PlayStation saw the value, they could have gave Sony a bag to help them port, and then just digital only if they wanted that game only. I don't think they wanted it. I don't think PlayStation saw the value in that.
That's what I suspect as well. Vinnie Mac, that has been my suspicion, because people were asking for years, why is Octopath? I mean, before we even know Octopath 2 existed, right? We didn't know there was a second game. People were asking, why is Octopath 2? And that was at the time, I gave my explanation, and I told them that the first game, Nintendo published it outside of Japan, then Square Enix put it on Steam with no marketing that cost them basically nothing, and then Google paid and then Xbox paid, and so Sony, it's not it's like you said, it's not valuable for them to pay for what at that point would have been an old game.
Right.
That's like a double A game.
It may have sold a few thousand, a few 100,000, but I don't think that would have been enough to justify paying it, in my opinion. But we'll see. Again, the show is going to happen next week. We'll have numbers, so it could take off on the PlayStation platform and bomb on the Switch. Who knows? So.
Yeah.
But I do have to get back to work. I appreciate you guys' show. As always, you guys do a phenomenal job. Genki, get well. Take care of yourself. JCat, we'll see you on Twitter. Everyone else have a great day.
Thank you very much, Finny Mac. Take care. On that note, we have Genki for about another 10 minutes because he's feeling really under the weather. So Genki, let's get your thoughts about that situation. Or maybe he's not there. Genki might have fallen asleep actually.
Oh, sorry. Hey.
Oh, you are there.
Yeah, so here. Sorry. About Octopath.
Yes, we talk about that and then quickly talk about the state of play before you have to. We haven't really gone into the state of play that much. We did a little bit, but we'll wrap up with that.
Oh, okay, yeah. The state of play you want to talk about?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was. I woke up at 6 a.m. to watch it,
Ouch.
and the first 20 minutes were just like a big snore fest. It's like, oh my god, what's going on? Especially those 5 VR games.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the last one that looked kind of interesting, like the blinking one, and like in terms of the design, but in terms of the gameplay of all of those, they didn't look interesting at all to me. So yeah, I did like the last one because of the art design, but in terms of the gameplay, like you're blinking to like progress in the story.
Yeah, that's
and play the
interesting.
game. I was like, oh yeah, this is not interesting. And the rest of them kind of all look like the same kind of weird sci-fi shooter, kind of like magic shoot, telekinesis kind of shooter kind of games. So yeah, they didn't look very interesting, those games, the VR games. Yeah, and then they got on with the other games, and I cannot remember most of them. Like,
So
I mean, there was that Humankind one. That
So
looked
I've got that on the
interesting.
screen now. Humanity. This looks like some type of puzzle game. I
Yeah,
think this looks
Humanity.
really cool. I'm really interested. I'm really
looks
interested in
cool.
this game. It's kind of like Lemmings,
this-
but like hardcore.
Yeah. What some of this reminds me of is if you play Ratchet and Clank, Rift
Yes.
Apart, they have these puzzles that are like kind of identical to this.
Oh really?
Mhm.
Like where you go into these like zones where you're like you meet this like spirit, you go like the spirit realm or something like that. And
Yeah,
you
something like
get these
that.
like spirit clanks, and then you have to do these puzzles where it's like blowing the characters like like a line of characters like this. So it kind of just reminds me of that, but just more fleshed out. Yeah, and there's this dog. I don't know what the dog's
a
guiding
dog.
everyone, I guess.
It's
It's a
just
shepherd
But
dog.
you're reborn as a dog,
It's
and
cute.
then they have like Doshin the Giant for some reason as well. And,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, I know it's made by a Japanese VR studio. They
Wait,
made,
it's a
like,
VR
Res-
game?
Oh
It-
yeah, it's
it's-
also VR.
It's like, yeah, because when it came up at the end, it said PS4, 5, and VR, VR2.
Yeah.
So I assume
Optional.
you
It said
you can
option.
play.
Oh yeah, it's
in-
optional. Yeah.
So
But they are a studio like that are going big on VR these days. But yeah, they did make games like Res, and they made Tetris Effect as well.
Oh yeah, they did
So,
say that was them. Yeah. Okay, so that's why they put Doshin the Giant in there.
Yeah.
I'm joking. It's not Doshin the Giant, but it looks like that though.
Yeah, I don't think they can license that.
They can't.
Yeah, but that looks interesting. And then there was this game, the Goodbye Volcano High.
Goodbye Volcano High, which
Yeah, they showed the actual gameplay. It looked like a rhythm game.
yeah, I
or
didn't
like,
realise it was a
like
rhythm
more
game.
like a visual novel.
Visual novel rhythm game, maybe.
Yeah.
And what I can
So,
gather,
not my cup of tea, but
look
the
like-
art still looks cool.
the art looks cool. They seem to be dinosaurs, right? They're dinosaurs. They're anthropomorphic dinosaurs, but they're talking about like, I think like the asteroid or whatever is coming, and they're talking about the end of the
Yeah, yeah.
world.
Yeah, the extinction.
Their extinction.
Whilst they're in
But they've
high
got
school.
smartphones and they're smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's different.
Maybe.
I like-
Yeah, it looks it's unique, I guess. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. And like the art style is really cool as well. It's not my kind of. I don't really like visual novels that much, so I think I would be that into it. But if you're into that thing and like also like the rhythm games aspect, it looks cool though.
Yeah, and then what did we have
Yeah,
after that? Oh, what about they had
and then-
what's this?
Naruto.
Naruto
Oh
Ultimate.
shit.
Right, so
Bunshin no Jitsu.
I have not watched. I think I know. I have watched a couple of episodes of Naruto. I've never got into it. Okay, so I'm not. You know, I'm not into Naruto. I don't know anything about it, right? But what I gather from this game, so there was like 4 of these Ultimate Ninja Storm games, right? And it seems like they've kind of put them all together. So it's like all the characters are in one game. They've put it all together in one game and then added an extra story on top of that. So that's why it looks like the other game, because it's basically the previous games, because it is that, but it's not a completely new game. Basically,
Oh really? Oh okay. It's like a compilation of all the games.
yeah.
There's so many games though, so it's kind of ridiculous right now. Like I did like the first few, like when I first played it, and it was like unique and new, like on the PS3 and PS4. But like there's just so many now, and they're like the gameplay is like kind of repetitive.
Same.
So I kind of fell off the game series recently.
Yeah,
But-
so they're just too similar. You're saying like, in gameplay and so on.
Yeah. But I guess this is if it can be like a ultimate compilation version, that's quite cool.
That's what they're saying. They say it has the most
I mean,
characters
you know they're gonna
ever.
release a new one like next year or something.
Like a brand new entry, yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Join new
but yeah.
ninjas. They've added new characters.
Naruto. Yeah. Nandattabayo. Joking. But yeah, I like Naruto, but yeah, I kind of fell off these games. But yeah, this one looks cool though. For those who are fans of the series.
Interested.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh,
most of
I
those
was
games
interested
they-
in this. What did you think about Baldur's Gate 3?
Oh my, I'm not interested in that one.
Get the hell out of here!
Get this. No.
It's
Maybe
because
it's
I like
it. Well,
it's because I like Dungeons and
nah.
Dragons, right? It's basically Dungeons and Dragons. So
Oh yeah, when they said, "Oh, we're gonna show you some fantasy games," I was like, "Oh, maybe some
Final Fantasy. Wah, 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 wah. Not Final Fantasy. It wasn't even
Yeah.
there.
I don't like this genre of games, fantasy.
Okay.
Like it's
Baldur's Gate 3 is pretty interesting. Well, it was because for some reason it was like just PS5 and PC,
Yeah,
no
because like
Xbox version.
I don't know if you remember this,
is that this
Jago.
one? Is this?
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember
Oh,
this, but
yeah, I
this
don't know what
game
that
they
is.
kind of sort of launched an early access of this game
Yeah.
on PC, but also on Stadia. Did you know this was on Stadia?
no.
It was on Stadia. Yes, you could play the early access version of like the first, how many chapters or whatever it was on Stadia. It was on Stadia, and this was announced years ago, as you probably remember. But you're saying that this now, in terms of console releases, because the Stadia version's lost the midst of time, it's only been announced for PS5.
Yeah, it's only going to be on PS5. And just before the show started, I saw an article from Push Square saying that they got an answer from either the developer or the publisher or something. They were saying that there's no exclusivity deal with the game. They just decided it would be on PS5.
That's
Really?
really
That's strange.
unusual. That's unusual for a AAA game.
Yeah.
To do. That's
and
very
for a Western
unusual
developer.
for a Western
Let's see.
AAA developer to do that, because they've basically made a de facto exclusive, right?
Is it PS5 only? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so let's
Maybe
see.
they didn't
So
want to
it's
make a
for
Series S
PC,
version.
Mac. It's for PC, Mac, GeForce Now, PS5.
Oh, okay.
That's wild.
Maybe they didn't want to be held back by the Series S or something. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
It
makes
doesn't.
no
It doesn't
sense to
make
me either.
sense. It doesn't make sense. I've never even heard. I can't even think that in modern times, that's not something I've heard of really. Not nowadays.
Yeah,
So actually, I
the-
didn't know that.
I put the push square
Oh,
link in.
it's
in
on
Okay.
chat,
PS4.
Thank
so
you.
in the notice board.
That's strange then.
So they put it on PS4, but not.
Huh? That's not. I'm not seeing that.
Hang on, is
Baldur's
it
Gate
PS4?
3. No,
Was that-
Baldur's Gate 3
was
is
that-
PS5
oh, okay.
coming out at the end of August.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the one on PS4 is Baldur's Gate 2 or the first one, Enhanced Edition, because those are on Switch, I think, as well.
Right. Okay. Right. And the next Genki, we had 2 upcoming Capcom games, which both look cool, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, those two saved the show for me. It's the only things I was interested in the entire show.
Yeah. So this
Yeah, I
was really
like,
good. They introduced new
Zangief's new
characters.
Yeah, and I think they were in the leak, so I think most people have seen them before, but it's good to see them
Oh, it's got leaked?
in action.
Yeah, the character
The
list got
roster
leaked.
was leaked, with the art.
Oh, dang! I
of
didn't even
the
know
roster.
that.
Yeah, but it's good to see them. Most of these characters are. Oh, the Lily girl, she's a new character.
She's new.
Yeah, where's she from? I think.
I gathered she's meant to be like indigenous, maybe
Oh, like,
of
you have to find
indigenous
out
of
where.
Mexico or South America or something. I believe she's indigenous. Yeah, here she is
Yeah,
on the
then
screen.
Cammy looks really good. Yeah, Cammy looks awesome. Like the new design. She's
Yeah.
got like the Union Jack on her back.
Yeah, representing.
So it's cool. Oh yeah, us Brits
Yeah.
representing. Oh wait, Jago, where are you from? London?
Yeah, I live in
Oh,
London
okay.
as well. Born and raised
What What part?
Yeah, really.
Oh,
here.
all
East
London.
London. East London.
You're in East.
Oh,
Shut up! I'm in
Yeah.
East as
Same as,
well. I'm in
Well, I
East.
mean-
Jodie.
Yeah, East.
Yeah, I'm in East.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
That's
Waltham
yeah.
awesome.
Forest.
Married.
That's my borough.
Oh shit! Oh, you're making me swear, Jago. You're in Wolfram. You're. And no, by the way, there's no swearing on this show because I don't want to get in trouble. The YouTube has different rules, and if I want to monetize this show, I need to have no swearing in it. If I don't know if we'll ever get enough followers for that, but just in case. But yeah, Wolfram Forest. Yeah, I'm familiar with that area because I used to live Ilford, Hainault, that end. End of the Central Line way.
Yeah.
And I almost went to. I didn't go there. I almost went to Waltham Forest College, but I didn't go in there. I went to a different college. But I had an interview there, and they did offer me a place. But
What did you make of the London level then?
who me?
I don't remember too much because I
It's
was
on the
tired.
it's on the screen now. If you want to have a look on the stream. Sorry, I've got it on the
All
stream.
right, let's see.
Wait, I'm gonna rewind it a little bit actually because I think it's
I thought the level was a bit stereotypical. It's
It
cobble
is.
streets and there's a bus and
They have a route
guys in
the
top hats.
old-fashioned route master, which don't exist any. Do you know who got
They
rid of
got
it? It was
guys in
Boris
top hats in the
Johnson.
background.
Boris Johnson
Oh.
got rid of the route
Oh,
masters,
yeah,
and I was
yeah.
I was so vexed. Right, I tell you why. Because the previous mayor of London refurbished them a couple of years ago. They all got refurbished and everything, and they were still. And then when they brought this crappy new route master in, I thought, oh, well, they're gonna make it like the Mini when they brought back the Mini Cooper, right? And that was the shell was like a Mini Cooper, but inside it was all modern. No. They just made it's just a regular bus. It's just a regular bus with extra doors on it. It's a regular bus. and they spent £100 million on these bloody. Anyway, I don't like Boris Johnson.
I don't think many people do.
I'll never forgive him for that. And Brexit. But anyway, Genki has to go. As Genki is feeling really under the weather.
Yeah, get well soon, Genki.
But yeah, the only other thing in the state of play was what do you call it? Resident Evil 4, and then Suicide Squad. Yeah.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 looks really good.
Yeah.
They said there's a demo. Hopefully it comes soon, next week, I hope.
Oh, they didn't say when,
we'll
did
see.
they? They just said it's.
Yeah, it
soon.
seems like it's a special demo, so maybe
There's-
it's not you can carry over the gameplay. It's just
What does that mean?
Oh, it's like the
Special.
Yakuza one where it's just a bunch of
Yeah.
battle set pieces.
Oh, like they've
Yeah,
made
yeah.
it specially. It's not like a section of the game.
Yeah, I doubt it will carry over
Oh right,
to
okay,
the main
okay,
game,
okay.
but you can experience like a short segment of the game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. The game looks really awesome, and like the graphics look really impressive.
Hmm.
Yeah, I did see some quick time events in there, but it's all good.
Oh, you don't like those?
Oh no, it's no, they're good. They're good, but the first one was just crazy. Like, I think Resident Evil 4 like established quick time events in game.
Yeah,
It was like one of the main
Uh,
games that established it, and then
yeah.
everyone went crazy after that game. So, yeah. But
I
this
see.
time they're chilling out with the quick time events.
I see. So they've made some. I heard they've made some story changes in it.
Huh? You have?
Yeah. So there's a character in here that apparently he dies like way earlier than what they're showing in here.
Ah, interesting.
So they've changed. They've changed stuff. They've changed some stuff. Yeah, with the story. Because that's what people said, that this guy would have died way earlier, but they're showing him in a much later scene
Hmm. Okay.
Oh,
in this
a
trailer.
Ramon guy, whatever his name is. Maybe.
I think it's Lucas or something. Not Lucas or something like that.
I haven't played Resident Evil 4 since I was a child.
Since you, how old are you? Anyway, look.
I'm 22.
Okay, so you're talking about just a few years ago, basically.
No. I played it on the Wii.
You played it on the
On the
Wii.
Wii.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
I have never played it.
it's
Actually,
still-
I bought it recently, so
Yeah, I'll probably get it again on the PS5.
yeah. I want to play the original version and then I'll play the new one because I'm weird like that.
Is there a physical version on Switch for it?
Not exactly. I
Resident
believe that they
Evil
made
4.
one for. They made. Yeah, so they made like a
Might have been
collection
like a
that you can.
triple pack or something.
The one they
okay.
made where it had one game on it, but then you can get the Asian one, and the Asian one maybe has 2 games in it or something like that. But I think it's not. I think you can't exactly get it.
Okay, I'm seeing here Resident Evil triple pack. That's America. Okay, here.
But it only has 1 game on the cartridge, which is lame.
That sucks. It's like
Do
the
you know-
Final Fantasy X one.
Do you know what I noticed? That's why I imported that one. I imported it. Do you know what I noticed? I noticed that Switch physical games, that doesn't happen anymore. Do you know it used to happen a lot? When was the last time you even heard of a game where they did that?
Like 2018, 2019.
Yeah, do you know
Forever
what?
ago.
Do you know what I think? I think that those games, people just they weren't selling well. People didn't want them like that, and that's why all these because all these publishers stopped doing it. They used to do that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and they always had that really massive and distracting banner that said, "Get an SD card."
Exactly.
Oh yeah, there's like a label on the front of the box. It does
Yeah.
annoy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you
I
want
mean,
Final
that
Fantasy
label's a lot
X,
smaller now. Oh, GTA 3.
I guess the collection thing, or
Yeah.
I guess that one. Yeah, but that's just Take Two. They can get lost.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah. Try not to swear.
Yeah, don't bother.
That's why I said they suck.
Genki, if you've got a dip, feel free. I'll just finish up the show.
Okay, yeah, I have to go to bed soon in a bit.
In a bit. Well, whenever
Yeah.
you're ready. Yeah. So that was basically the whole state of play. There wasn't like what I tweeted out was there wasn't really any like apart from the VR games, there wasn't many brand new announcements. It was stuff that we knew about with like updates
Yeah.
or like showing us the gameplay, for example, with what's this called again?
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed us Chia. They showed us game like that. Said that game a lot of times. They showed us Chia, which I'll be honest with you, that game doesn't interest me. I don't know why. Something about the art style that's just off for me.
Seems like it lacks of something with post processing. Not sure. It doesn't look like it's very. And it looks like there's lots of aliasing. To
Oh,
me.
really? I didn't really notice that. It's just the art style. I just wasn't driving with it. That's me.
Her like very spherical head.
Yeah, and like the big eyes and all that. I don't know. It for me. I don't know about anyone else. I have to like the art style of the game. This is why I refuse to play Minecraft. My friends keep trying to get me to play Minecraft. I said I don't like the art style. It looks like that Windows 95 screensaver, the one where you're going through it looks exactly like that. And I don't like the art style. I'm not playing it with the gameplay. No, I'm not playing it. I refuse to. And they keep trying to get me to play it. I don't want to. I said, look,
I think you should try it out to appease them.
No. I said I will play any Minecraft clone you want. I'll play, because I've played Minecraft clones before, right? I'll play any Minecraft clone. I don't like the art style. It's just blocks and just like no details on them. No, I'm not playing it. So maybe I'm just weird like that. I'm just, if I don't like the art style of a game, I'm probably not going to play it. I have to like the art style, you know, or it has to be inoffensive at least.
It has to be appealing enough. Yeah, that makes
well,
sense.
Well, you have that.
Well.
Like I said, that game Humanity looks interesting to me. That has a pretty bland, nondescript art style. The people in it don't even have any faces or anything like that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still appealing enough for you to consider it, you know?
Right, it works. So it's not like I don't like stuff that looks pixelated or looks like older games or things. I do. I really like pixel art games, in fact, and stuff like that. But I don't like the Minecraft art style because it looks like that Windows 95 screensaver. It looks exactly like that. No, I'm not interested in that. Yeah, I don't know why I started talking. Why am I talking about that?
About Chia, you said you weren't too big on the art.
Yeah. That one doesn't interest me. I'm way more interested in that Humanity game. I really want to play that. In fact, that looks really, really good. So that interested me. And Baldur's Gate 3, yes, I am interested in that because I like Dungeons. It's Dungeons and Dragons, right? It's from Dungeons and Dragons. And I play Dungeons and Dragons every week for maybe some people here who don't know. I play it every week with my friends. I stream it. I always tweet that I'm on stream and no one comes and watches it. So yeah, I'm on stream playing Dungeons and Dragons on my friend's Twitch channel. Not Rob May, it's his Twitch. But yeah, if you want to come and see me, I'm normally there with the face cam on, but I normally fall asleep in the not because it's not fun, but because it's my health condition. I get fatigued, right? So towards the end of the show, I'm like starting to fall asleep. Because I get really fatigued. I get fatigued doing this show. I have to go for a nap after I've done this.
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, if you want to come watch, I really love Dungeons and Dragons. So it's basically Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm interested in playing it. And I also wanted to play their previous game. I haven't gotten around to it, Divinity Original Sin. I've heard that that's good. I don't know if you've played that.
Nah.
Yeah, I've heard it's good. So I want to give that one a go. It's on Switch as well.
I'm much more into the Japanese games, like most people.
I am, as you know, I am.
Yeah.
But in terms of Western games, because I at least want to try them out, right?
Mm-hmm.
That interests me the most into like Western RPGs. I actually started playing because my friend came over yesterday and he's like, oh, on the, my PS Plus or whatever, they had the Mass Effect Legendary collection and he loves Mass Effect. And he's like, oh, Jodie, you need to play this, you need to play it. I was like, okay. So I started playing it and it's really good so far. I only played like an hour of it. But I liked it. I liked the dialogue and all this, like, you have to make a lot of choices and stuff like that. And he kind of explained to me, if you do this choice here, it's more the good one, and that one's the evil one, and then that one's the neutral one, and then you do it. So he was explaining it to me, and it seems really interesting. So I'm going to give Mass Effect a go. I'm going to be playing Mass Effect. But in terms of like, what I'm not really into is those like, the more,
Diablo style?
Yeah. I'm not Diablo doesn't appeal to me. In terms of like a Western RPG that would appeal to me the most would probably be The Witcher 3. Would appeal to me, but like the kind of the first person like Fallout type games, nah.
Yeah, I'm not into first person games either.
Yeah, not really into it, but like I will give things a go, and because I have I have a lot of games now on the PS Plus thing, just the regular one, where you the base level?
Yeah, Essentials.
Essentials.
I got
yeah.
Essential as well. It was like £25 in December.
How did you get it for £25?
Christmas sale?
Black Friday?
No, Christmas sale.
Ah, man, I missed that.
It was like £25.
And my one's about to run out as well. And I was like, and I wasn't going to renew it because I'm not even using it. Why am I paying? I've got to cancel a load of subscriptions. It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I only got it because it was £25. And I only got it because I do like having cloud saves. I don't play games online often, just like Splatoon and Pokemon.
Right.
But
oh god, that reminds me. I've got a grind in Splatoon because like the season's nearly at the end, and I only got to level 70, and I really want to finish the catalogue. So
I haven't played Splatoon since the Pokemon one. There's just been too many games.
There are too many games, but I really love Splatoon, and like with Splatoon 2, I put like 400 hours into it, but I've already done 400 hours in Splatoon 3 already.
Damn. I think in total I've done about 200 hours, and that was from September to November. And I just haven't opened it again.
Right, yeah, because they've had a lot of good. They've just put so much more stuff in it and events, and I'm really looking forward to the next big run. So this Suicide Squad game, Genki, if you're still there, I think the graphics and the story sounds actually really interesting. The graphics look really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like the art direction.
Oh yeah, in terms of the production levels, it looks amazing. Like
it looks amazing
technically, and the cutscenes they look really good. But in terms of the characters and the story and the gameplay, it's like.
No, I think the story sounds cool because it's basically the what do you call them? The Justice League. They've been corrupted by like Brainiac. That's what they're saying, and they're saying the only way you can stop me, Diana, is you have to kill me. That's what the Flash says. So they have to kill them, right? But I'm guessing they don't really kill them, because you can't just kill off the whole Justice League. But yeah, something's gonna happen. But I thought that premise sounded interesting. But I don't know why. You say he hasn't got superpowers. How is he teleporting all over the place like this then? He's literally teleporting.
Oh yeah, that one has. He said 2 of them don't have superpowers, but that guy looks like he has superpowers because he's like doing like this teleport.
He's teleporting.
Yeah, and then the other one's a big shark, so he must have some superpowers. But the other 2 are just normal people. Like,
so Harley Quinn
and Deadshot.
I think they've designed her really, really well. I really, really like the way they've designed Harley Quinn. And Harley Quinn, I didn't even realise it because I used to love, when I was a kid, I absolutely loved Batman the Animated Series. I absolutely loved that. I know a lot of people love that show as well. And apparently, I didn't even realise Harley Quinn actually originates from that show, not the comics. That's what I've heard. That she originates from that animation, not the actual comics. If someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard someone say that. Let's look at the comments before we finish. What am I doing here? Let's look at the comments. Okay. Genki, where did you get to on this thing? I don't know. Okay, Rigo Morero. Welcome, Rigo Romero. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name.
Got up to where I said Fire Emblem Fates in the chat.
All the way up there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Vinnie Max said, I read that bit. A Game Killer said, I wish I could get into Suicide Squad, just not feeling it since I focus on single player games. Guess I'll just play Arkham games again. Yeah, I haven't played though. That's very good. Vinnie Max said they don't have powers. Mousy, welcome Mousy. Suicide Squad is James Gunn baby. You mean the movies? Yeah, I guess the movies. Dank Ming Center says the premise for the game was fine, just the whole live service nature kills it. Yeah, another Avengers in the making. So here's the thing, Dank Ming and Jago and Genki. Right, so this game is online only, even in single player, right? So if this game flops like the Avengers, they're just going to turn these servers off. You're not going to. At least with the Avengers, they made it so that you can play You can basically just play the whole game offline. They've made it like it's like a normal game, like what they're doing, because they said all of the cosmetics and everything's all going to be unlocked, and you can just play it. So at least you can do that. But with this game, yeah, this doesn't seem. It does feel like another Avengers situation. But I think this does look better than what the Avengers looked when they revealed that. I think this game looks better than that. Maybe it's just me. I think the art direction in this game is a million times better than the Avengers. They did have that uncanny valley thing going on because people are used to the actor's portrayal in the movies. So they got if they'd have made a more exaggerated comic book style like this one, they're kind of like they don't quite look like real life. It's like slightly off in a kind of more comical, in the comic book direction. If they had done that, I think people would have liked it more, because there's been games before and since then that used like a different art style that were from Marvel, and people didn't have the same it's uncanny valley reaction type thing. Riga Morera says, do you think Suicide Squad being squeezed in between Zelda and Final Fantasy will hurt sales? Yes, I do. That was dumb.
Especially Final Fantasy.
Especially Final Fantasy, because it's on the same platform.
Yep.
So, and what's the release date? Is it really that close to Fun? Oh no, I heard it's like 2 weeks away or something.
It's May 26th, about 4 weeks.
16 is June 22nd.
Yeah, and Suicide Squad's the 26th of May, so about 3-4 weeks.
And Zelda is May 12th.
12th, literally 2 weeks.
It's going to get steamrolled. Because what's everyone going to be talking about for weeks? They're going to be talking about Zelda, and then Final Fantasy VI. No one's going to be talking about Suicide Squad. It's going to get steamrolled. No, it's just that in terms of like the lexicon and like social media metrics and like everything that, it's just gonna be Zelda. There's gonna be Final Fantasy. Just like that. No one's gonna be talking about. Yeah, it's gonna get steamrolled. Thomas Garcia, welcome. Did I say hello to you before? Welcome. Nice Kirby avatar. Thomas Garcia says the sci-fi stuff was awesome. I don't know what you're referring to, unfortunately. Maybe you're referring to the VR stuff we was talking about before. GameCube64 says, not worthy is a bit harsh. I'll take AA games from Square any day, considering how these AAA games are turning out. I do agree I'd rather play on my Switch. So I believe GameCube's referring to what?
Octopath, when Vinny said it's not worthy.
Not worthy. he was being a little bit hyperbolic there, so yeah.
Yeah.
GameKiller64 also says those. Oh, Street Fighter. That's what you mean by FF. I thought sci-fi, man. You mean Street Fighter? I'm dumb. I thought that was sci-fi. Oh my god, you mean Street Fighter? I'm sorry. I don't know why that came to mind. I think SF is like sci-fi. Okay, you mean Street Fighter? Street Fighter. Sorry, Street Fighter stuff was awesome. Okay.
Sci-fi has its own acronym.
Yeah, SF.
SIFI.
No, nobody says that. Nobody writes that.
Yes, because no, people do write SIFI, or is it SC? I don't know, but people say sci-fi.
Yeah, but
they don't write it out as SF.
People do write it as SF. Yes, they do. I've seen it.
No.
Well, why did I say that then? Why did I say it? Because that's how people do that.
It doesn't happen.
Genki, I know you've got to go, right? Genki, do you mind just for like 5 minutes reading the comments while I go and like grab a drink?
Oh yeah, okay. Well, where did you get? Oh, the Game Killer.
Game Killer, yeah.
SF reveals were fire. Can't wait to try Lily and Cammy. Oh yeah, Lily is from Mexico. I just looked it up, and yeah, I'm so ready to play that, even though it's between Tears of the Kingdom and FF16. Okay, yeah. Street Fighter 6 comes out in between those two games as well. I think it's June. Yes, June 2nd, as you said. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I haven't got any money this year.
I'm already out of money.
Oh no! I bought the Pixel Remaster Limited Edition and the FF16 Limited Edition. So that's like £500 to Square Enix.
Yep. Me too. Me fucking too. On top of Octopath. So Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. I hope you didn't get the collector's edition of that
No,
as well.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
Only so much.
Oh yeah. Same. Oh yeah. Then Mousy says casual gamers want high graphic games for PS5, Xbox Series X. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. They don't appreciate the particles and the frame rates of
Yeah.
of the HD2D.
Octopath. I can't believe it.
Oh yeah, I want to see it in 4K and like 60, like because I like Live Alive, like the HD2D and that.
Mm-hmm.
So to see it in 4K would be interesting, or in 60 frames as well to see how it
Yeah.
moves.
Yeah. I was
You
also
want to try
playing it
the
on
demo?
PC, so I got it to like 120, and
Oh damn, that's too
yeah,
much.
I was. It's too much. No, it's not enough frames.
That's not enough. Alright,
I'm back.
that's crazy. And then Game Killer 60. Oh hey, Game Killer 64 says I think Square's marketing for 16 has been pretty poor lately.
Oh, really?
Too. I'm surprised we still haven't seen 5 minutes of unfiltered gameplay. Hopefully they have a big media blowout or demo soon. Yeah,
That's
they did
true.
confirm there will be a demo, and Yoshi P said they will reveal more like around 3 months before
Oh,
the
right.
game's
Did they?
released.
Okay, there you go.
Next, I don't think it's been pulled yet, so probably ramp up from next month.
I
which is
also want to
3 months
point
before.
out that Tears of the Kingdom's coming out before that, and we haven't had a blowout for that one. We've barely seen anything.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo's focusing on Mario until then.
Oh, because
Oh
of the
yeah, for the
movie?
Mario movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently they're making a Super Mario Odyssey bundle.
They're bringing it back. The one from 2017.
Oh, is that from
Oh.
2017?
2017?
Was there one in
Oh my God.
2017? I didn't even know
It
that.
was
Yeah,
just
and it has
the
its own
Switch Plus. It was just the Switch with the red Joy-Cons.
Joy-Cons.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's different
yeah,
shades
yeah,
of red.
yeah. Yeah, they're bringing
Yeah.
like the bundle with
It's
Odyssey.
much better red.
So
Much better red than the 35th anniversary one.
There was a 35th anniversary Switch?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was red like Mario.
was
Had
that?
red and blue. It was
Oh,
red
yeah,
and blue.
yeah.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, but it was the first Switch to have a different actual like body. 'Cause
Oh, it
actually
was
red.
red. Oh, that one.
The
That
screen
one.
part, yeah, the screen part.
Oh,
is
yeah.
red.
Oh,
Usually
the
it's all
screen
black.
part was red.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because even though I've got an Animal Crossing one, and the front of it's black.
Yeah.
I want that Zelda Switch.
Yeah, Mario's gonna be big. But yeah, it's a shame they don't have a game with it.
Yeah,
But-
that's kind of wild that there's no Mario game to go with. I'm really surprised. The only really thing I'm thinking, Genki, is that they couldn't get the timing of it right. Because don't forget that movie was delayed like a load of times, right? And we don't
I thought it was
know.
just delayed once.
Huh?
I thought it was just delayed from December to thingy, or just once.
Was it just once? I thought it was more than once.
Yeah, I think it's probably just because they announced it so long ago.
Oh, okay. So, I was gonna say, I think because we don't know. Basically, since Super Mario Odyssey, we have not had a game from the Mario team, right? We haven't had a new game. There's been a couple of remasters. We haven't had a brand new game, right? So what have they been doing? There was no DLC. Not proper DLC for Odyssey. So what have they been doing? Obviously, they're making something. But whatever it is they're making, if it's a sequel to Odyssey or whatever, they couldn't get it to line up with the movie. Is what I think probably happened. Because I thought they was going to have a 2D Mario for it.
But yeah, I think they're saving the next big Mario for the launch of the next Switch.
Next Switch, yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah, I think that's what they do now. Like when it gets to the end of it, they just hold stuff back for the next console.
Yeah.
I think that's what they. But yeah, we are getting. I think we'll still get Metroid Prime 4 and we're getting Pikmin this year. So
You think Metroid Prime 4's this year?
not this year. I mean, it'll still come out on the Switch. They won't hold that back, I don't think.
Oh no, yeah, because they've announced it for Switch, so they have to put it on the Switch.
Yeah, it could be this year, like the end of the year, because they don't have.
Potentially.
No, it's not this year. Because people are saying that they don't have anything big for this year.
Well,
But I don't know if that includes Metroid, because that's not really a big.
No,
Metroid's not
yeah.
big.
It's a remake.
It's just a classic Nintendo.
Oh, you mean
That's
the,
what-
That could
Yeah,
come
that's just what it is.
this holiday, because they don't have a holiday game,
Not
so
yet.
that could come.
But
This
Pokemon
holiday.
Day is coming up soon. We don't know what they're going to announce. They won't announce a
Monday.
They won't announce a new, like, obviously mainline Pokemon, but they could announce like Detective Pikachu 2. Like, where's that at? Where's Detective Pikachu 2 at?
Oh yeah, Detective Pikachu.
They announced that years ago.
Creatures, what they're doing, and yeah, the DLC and stuff. But yeah.
Oh yeah, and the DLC. But then, yeah, the DLC. Yeah, that's not a physical release, is it? They should release it physically. Why not? Why they didn't do it? They should have released it.
They did for Sword and Shield.
They did what?
They did for Sword and Shield. They put all the DLC on the cut.
Oh yeah, they did make one, but the covers.
Yeah, but it was like £75.
They did. Yeah, okay, all right. I tell a lie, they did, but the covers they make for those are crap. They're terrible.
Terrible.
They're awful. They could have made a new nice cover, or at least made it better than that one. And do you know what they have? They have a bundled version of Breath of the Wild with the DLC in Japan. It's only in Japan. Have you seen the cover for that?
Yep, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
And I think they did the same for Splatoon 2.
They did. It looks terrible.
Yeah.
It's such a shame, man. They could. Oh man,
They just crop the cover, then move it up, and then
move it up, and then put the thing on the bottom of it. Like that's so lazy. So they could have made a better version of that cover, or made like a nice new art or something like that. I like what they've done for the Barton Kaitos remaster they're doing. They've made like a new artwork for that. Did you see it?
That is so beautiful.
It's nice, isn't it?
I can't wait to get that.
Have you played those before?
No.
No, neither have I. I thought they looked. I thought what they showed us looked pretty good. I saw someone did a comparison, and they have like redone some of the models and stuff like that. So it's not exactly the same. It is a remaster, and apparently what they've done, I read this on like Reset Era, right? So take it for what it is.
Downsampling?
What's that? What's downsampling?
Downsampling is when you render a game at a higher resolution than what's being outputted on the display. So what you're seeing is 1080p, but the Switch will be rendering it at 1440p, for example.
No, that's not what I was referring to. What I was saying is, what I read on Reset is that they've basically combined the games, because one was there was original release, and then there's one after that was like a prequel, right? So apparently they've mashed the games together, and that's why there was I can't remember which one. It's either the first or the second game there was an English dub. And for one of the games there was no English dub. Well, the English dub is completely missing. There's only Japanese on there now, and so people are like, oh, why? Then people are annoyed, right? Because they're like, why not just include that one? I think it's because they've joined the games together. They've joined them somehow. This is what I read. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's true. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free to do that.
I thought it was because Bandai Namco is the only one doing this, and the English one was done by Nintendo.
Right. So with Barton Kaitos, you're correct. The second game is owned by Nintendo, right? Not the IP, but like it's like a Bayonetta situation, right? They own the game. They published it. They own that second game, but not the first one, which is all Bandai Namco. So I think, like, because they're not. They're only releasing on Switch as far as I know. It's not on any other platform, right? It's probably because of some rights issue, something like that. Because Nintendo owns the second game, and if they joined these games together and did it as one release like that, then Nintendo's, although they did, it's not out of the realms of possibility that it could go to other platforms, because it's the Fatal Frame situation. It's called. I always
Project
call it
Zero.
I know. Look, Jago, I was about to say that. I was about to say you shush. Yes, I call it Fatal Frame because that's what everyone. I know that's the American name, and that name is only in the States. Here it's called Project Zero, and I think in Japan it's just Zero or something. It's a similar name, like Project Zero or something in Japan. So I don't know why there's some next name in the States, but whatever. When I say Fatal Frame, you know what I'm talking about. If I say Project Zero, everyone's gonna be like, oh, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So that's why I'm saying it, Jago, okay?
I was confused for a second.
No, you wasn't confused. Don't lie. You know what Fatal Frame is. No, you was not confused. Get out of here.
I don't watch like American directs. I watch them all on Nintendo UK.
I can never find the link for that one. The one that I always find that always comes up is the US one.
Nintendo UK usually does a Twitch stream and a YouTube stream simultaneously.
So when you go on that, is it the oh yeah no when you
Yeah,
go
it
on
says
that
yeah,
they
and the narrative says Project Zero.
so they
That's
have
the fourth game, right?
when you watch the European one or the UK one, it when Takahashi's talking, it's got subtitles. Is it? He's not like
Yep.
dubbed over. Yeah. Why do they? Tell me this, Jago. Why for the American one do they dub it? Do they dub him over? When there's any of the Nintendo executives or whatever, they're dubbed over. But when you watch the UK one, you can hear their voice and it's
Americans can't
subtitles.
read.
Oh, clearly
Americans can't
not.
read.
I've noticed that they've always done that. I've really noticed
And
that.
it's really annoying because they don't even mute them.
No,
They don't mute them.
You can kind of hear them in the background, which I guess they didn't want to completely turn off their voices. But yeah, it's kind of it's weird. It's weird. But I always what I normally do is watch reactions. So I quite often watch OJ from Player Essence. I like watching reactions to these directs and things like that. So there's always like good. Like really good reactions. So I would normally I'll join someone else's stream, you know, and I'll just go and watch that stream like that, like I did for the State of Play. Although that was so boring. But yeah, normally they're pretty fun. But yeah, I don't Nintendo. I don't know. I never end up watching that one. But yeah, they do say Project Zero. They say Project Zero. And you know what's the other thing? I don't know if you knew this, Jago, but so you know Xenoblade, right?
Yeah.
We pronounce it Xenoblade, right?
Zeno.
It would
Xeno.
always be Xenoblade, right?
Yeah.
And it's in Japanese. It's similar, right? But they say Xenoblade in the everything you see, any type of American thing or the American directs or whatever, they're saying Xenoblade. Now I was like, okay, is there like a thing where there is like one in English? It's this pronunciation or that one? No, because I watched like a what do you call it? A Gamescom live stream from like years ago when they were promoting Xenoblade Chronicles 2, right? And they had the people there from
Monolith Soft?
no, they didn't have the Monolith. They had the people from Nintendo of Europe there. They had them doing like a treehouse type thing, or they were talking about the game, and they were saying.
Oh, was that when? Is that when the UI was like busted?
I don't know.
There was like spelling mistakes and everything.
Oh, what's that? I didn't watch the whole thing, so I just watched a little bit of it. But they were saying Xenoblade. So it's both are correct. Both correct.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so both are correct. But yeah, I noticed they always say Xenoblade. It always throws me off because nobody would say, if you saw that written down in the UK, nobody would say Xenoblade, would they? They would say Xeno.
No.
No, we don't have Z. We say Ze. So anyway. It's a zebra. It's not a bloody zebra. It's a zebra. Okay. I'm not having it. Growing up watching American, like I'm sure you watched a lot of American shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, like OJ. Oh wait, shows? Yes.
Yeah, like cartoons and things like that.
Growing up, that's all they would show. Barely anything, well, native apart from like on like 5 Milkshake or Cartoon Network.
Oh my god, you are really young if you're talking about Milkshake. Good lord.
Yeah. I watched Thomas the Tank Engine.
Thomas Tank Engine was around when I was correct. Yes, JT Blue, both are correct because I'll if I find that link, if I find that live stream, I will put a clip of it on Twitter. They were saying Xenoblade, so both are correct. And in the American ones, they say Xenoblade, so both are correct. Japanese is Xenoblade. So that's what they say. Did we get through all the? I don't know if Genki's still there or if he's got to go. In the UK, you go. J2 Blue, are you in the States? In the UK, you guys pronounce Z. Yeah, it's Z. It is Z. So like whenever they show, this is so funny, right? So whenever they would show Dragon Ball Z,
Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I end up saying Z because that's how they say it we get the American dub. Right? But I think in Japanese they say Zedo. I think it's Zedo. They said Dragon Ball Zedo.
I've not even watched it I've not watched it in sub, so I'm not sure.
No, I've never, but I saw one. I must have seen some Japanese ad, or maybe I watched a Japanese direct or something, and that's what they said. I was like, oh, that's how they say it there. I didn't even know that. Is that right? You're in the States? Okay, so this must be super early for you, right? Genki, I think is like he's got a head cold, and I think he's passed out.
Oh yeah,
So
I have to go to bed now. Alright, thanks.
thanks a lot,
Night,
Genki.
Oh, yeah.
night, Genki.
Good night. Take care. Hope you get back well soon.
It's Z dot in
Z dot. Yeah, see,
Japan.
yeah, I didn't know that until recently. It's
Okay.
wild. Yeah.
Okay, good night.
Alright,
Have a
take
good-
care.
Thanks, Jodie.
Night.
Good night.
Okay,
That's
we're
what I was
we're gonna finish up the show. Jago, if you want to stay for another few minutes.
Yeah, that's alright.
Where did the comments get up to? Where Genki got up to? I don't know where he was.
Got up to those Street Fighter reveals were fire, and then we started talking about Octopath.
Okay, so Mousy says the Square doesn't do the marketing. Yeah, the marketing trash. And also says casual gamers want high graphic games for PS5, Xbox Series X. That's what I kind of think too, but I think the reason for that is not that people on those systems don't buy like indie games and stuff like that. Of course they do. I think that people just have limited money. If you've got limited money and like you're casual gamers, like what are they gonna go for? You know, they just don't have money to buy everything. You're making a choice. Oh, am I gonna buy this one that's like more graphically intense, or this, you know, AA turn-based JRPG? So that's kind of what's happened. GameKiller64 says, I can understand the desire for high graphic games, but it's a shame that these lower graphic games don't have much of a market in PS5, Xbox Series X. I figure PS5 would still push for those. You mean lower graphic games like AA games? In terms of like what Sony does, I guess Sony, obviously, you know, we saw the state of play. There was indie games there, so they do. But I feel like it's maybe certain types of indie games. So they tend to go for the indie games that are rendered in 3D. That are 3D. I've noticed they do a lot more 3D ones than like just a pure.
Eternites.
Yeah, that's another 3D indie game. Like they don't do like a pixel art game. You wouldn't see like a Celeste. I don't remember seeing like something like Celeste at a state of play. That's what I mean by, you know, like kind of the more just pure 2D, or like a Hollow Knight or something like that. They've had things on a 2D perspective like Fist. Fist is a Metroidvania that's where it's rendered in 3D, like characters are 3D and everything, but it's a 2D perspective. So they've had stuff like that, but not just like pure, completely just flat. You've got some some jubilation in the background.
Oh, give me a sec.
GameKiller64 says, I think Square's marketing for Final Fantasy 15 has been pretty... Oh yeah, didn't Genki read this? It's fine. Yeah, I think there's going to be a blowout soon. As Genki said, it's probably going to be like 3 months from launch, so pretty soon. Thomas Garcia says, Mexico. Mexico's awesome. I've never been, I'd love to go. Mousy says, I don't wake up in time to watch you. Yeah, because it's super... how early is it for you? I'm sorry, but I completely forgot. I was going to speak to Genki about maybe doing a Okay, I'm going to mute you, Jago, because like there's a lot of background noise right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Martin says, you're right, Harley Quinn came from the cartoon. Oh, that's so cool. I used to absolutely love... But I haven't watched it since I was a kid, right? That's the thing. Maybe I watch it now and I think, oh no, it's kind of junky. It probably is. But it was just such a good show. Such a good... Harley Quinn first appeared in... So she's not even from the comics, she's from the shows. That's awesome. Let me see if Jago is... I don't want to keep him muted, you know. Jago, if you are... You can mute yourself if this is background noise. J2 Blue, engage. I suck at fighting games, but I'm looking forward to playing Street Fighter 6. Yeah, this is... No swear. Jago, did you swear? No swearing.
I don't remember swearing.
J2 Blue's telling you off. You must have swore.
swore.
Yes, they're saying you swore. And you said, what? I swore? Sorry, lol. It must have been when as soon as I go out of the room, they start swearing. This is what happens. No, I can understand. Street Fighter 6 looks cool. I suck at fighting games as well, but I think you go for it if you wanna play it. Yeah, it looks awesome. It looks really cool. Game Killer 64. I might get PS4 VR2 later this year. I hope eventually Sony starts including PS3 R2 with PS Plus. That'll push me to get it sooner or later. Well, they did include PSVR 1 games in PS Plus, because I remember I claimed them. Because I'm like, oh, they give me something for free, I'm gonna claim it. They put them in. I guess they don't do it anymore, but they did have PSVR 1 games in PlayStation Plus. So yeah, maybe they will. Include them. J2 Blues Engage says Hopium for another. You are on some hardcore Hopium. There ain't gonna be no another Pokemon Legends announced at Pokemon Day. They just had one a year ago. People go on about they're pumping out the games too fast. They're too close together, and they're not spending enough time in the games. They're janky. But you want another Legends? Does that make sense? Maybe I was gonna say maybe there'll be a DLC. I actually don't think they're gonna make DLC for that game. I think it's just done and dusted. But I could be wrong. Thomas Garcia says, no, lol, I meant the Street Fighter stuff. Haha, should have specified. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that was sci-fi. It's F, it's like sci-fi. So I don't know what's happening. J2 Blue Engage. The second Barton Kaitos game is technically the first game, since it's a prequel, but it's the second game that came out. Yeah, so that's basically what I've heard. So I don't know when they're joining these games together, if they're just going to put the second one, the prequel first, and then have it in chronological order. So I'm not sure what's happening. But I heard that they've joined the games together. So, like one continuous game. I don't know if that is true. That's what I heard. JC Blue, both pronunciations are correct. Yes, they are. I'm going to find that clip on that Gamescom stream, because I remember I went and because I was like, is it like? Because I've always said Xenoblade. I've never. Why would I say Xenoblade? Nobody says that here. Nobody says Z. So yeah, and then I looked it up, and they were all saying Xenoblade on that stream. Data Blue, they could announce it for next year. What? Pokemon Legends? For next year?
That's way too early for them to announce it.
Yeah,
anymore.
Pokemon Company don't... well, I'm going to say they don't. Detective Pikachu 2? Where's that? And Pokemon Sleep... What? I don't know if Pokemon Sleep is like some cancelled thing.
Yeah, but those aren't Game Freak games, you know? Game Freak would announce a game and then release it within 12 months.
I guess
I don't think another Legends game would release in January. I think that was a special case.
Yes, I think that they didn't...
I think that Legends probably needed to be delayed.
It probably did need to be delayed more, but if they probably already did delay it, it probably would.
Yeah, which is why it came out in January.
But then that
BDSP
was out in
November.
So
Yeah.
I think those games were too close together.
Yeah, same. But it didn't stop me from buying both of them.
I bought them both and played one. There you go.
Oh, I played all of them, and I beat all of them too.
And I also didn't so I did beat Legends, but I didn't get every single Pokemon and get Arceus, which the reason I didn't, because I put a lot of hours into that game. The reason I didn't was because I had to find all the unknowns, right? And even if I found, maybe I'll go back to it and try and do it. But if I find a list of unknowns, I'm like, okay, which unknown have I got, and which one am I missing, and where do I go? I don't know, man. So
I mean, you can check the Pokedex. It will tell you which ones you have.
No, I know it tells me which ones I have, but I don't know where I got them.
Oh, as in the Salacion Ruins would be the best place because that's where they spawn.
Right, but I found some just in different places. They're just all over the place. They're just hidden. Like sometimes
Really?
they're in a tree. Yeah, sometimes they're in trees or they're up on a rock. If you go up on the top of something, you're just
Oh, you mean like that? Right.
Yeah, the hidden ones. But you have to get all the unknowns in order to complete the Pokedex in order to get Arceus. That's why I didn't finish it. That's the only reason. So I was like, oh man, I can't be looking for all these unknowns. It took me ages to find. I found every single one of those the flamey glowy light things. What was that? The flickering light. I found
the spirits.
I found every single one of those on my own with no guide. And the last one, oh my god, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about it. And when I found it, I'm like, how the hell was I supposed to see where that was?
Was it one of the ones in the tree?
No, it was one that's on, like, the frozen tundra area. Right, so what I would do, I'd go up on the... what is it called? That bird, the flying Pokemon. I'd go up on that, and then once you was up in the air, when it was on Braviary, yeah, that's it. Thank you. When you was on Braviary, and I would at the camp, I would make it nighttime. I'd sleep until nighttime. Then when you just go up and look down, and you can just see where they are. It's just because they're glowing. But the last one I couldn't find, because if you go up high to a certain point, they kind of like disappear from view.
Oh yeah.
So I was going up really high. So yeah, the thingy.
Oh, it was one of the ones underground, right?
It was on the fucking. I'm trying not to swear. It was on the ground, and because I went so high, so I could see them all. But because I went, in order to get really high, you had to go up the mountains. I'd go up the mountain, right, and then fly over. But because it was out of the field of view, I couldn't see it. And then one day, I think I was like just doing something, and I just stumbled on it. I'm like, what the hell? That's where it was. The last one. And I found that, and then you get a Pokemon. You're rewarded. So
yeah, Spiritomb.
The spirit. What's it called? Spirit.
It's called Spiritomb.
Spiritomb, yeah. So you need those to get Spiritomb, which you need to complete the Pokedex. So I didn't get the other Pokemon. I could have got easily, but it's because I didn't feel like getting all those unknowns. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't want to get the unknowns.
You don't have to find.
Yes,
all
you do.
The figures to get. No, because I didn't. Before I got Arceus, I didn't. You just have to have the Pokedex entry.
I swear it says you have to have all the unknowns.
Nope, you don't have to have completed the entire page. You just have to have the Pokemon registered.
Oh my god! Well, then I could have done it. Well, I'll go back to it and I'll finish it. I'll get Arceus, or you can trade me Arceus. Just low key, just trade it. You can use this trading in the game. Just give it to me. I think I read all the comments. Game Killer. Sony did include PSVR 1 games for PS Plus for a while. I claimed them too, so I'm hoping some of them have free upgrades to PSVR 2 if they get ported over. Yeah, so that's the thing, like with some of the games, all of them, they have to be ported over to PSVR 2 or have some sort of upgrade. Some of them had free upgrades and some of them were paid upgrade. There's a very good video by Mystic Ryan. You know Mystic Ryan? He's quite a well-known PlayStation YouTuber. He did a video where it shows every single PSVR game that's announced or known that's coming within like the launch window. If you watch that video, he has a little note on every game saying whether it's a free upgrade or whether it's like a paid upgrade. Some of them like $9.99 upgrade or whatever, something like that. So Mystic Ryan, go and check out his video. Bad Latency says, I think the next new announced title will be a Pokemon mystery game. Yeah, it was leaked basically, wasn't it? Wasn't that leaked?
Yeah, from the website code.
How do people find that stuff? Why are they looking? They're looking for this stuff. They're just looking. They must be. People they're looking on websites and doing all this and finding this stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I mean, I'll be surprised there's going to be a new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, because I'm not.
I am.
Why?
Those games, they don't sell too great.
Do you know, none of the Pokemon spin-offs that sell that great.
Yeah, I was surprised that we got the remake.
The remake. Probably because that was like...
I had accepted that all the spin-offs we get will be mobile games.
Right, that's the other issue. A lot of them are turned into mobile games, right?
Well, I expect if they were to do Pokemon Ranger, that would be on mobile.
Oh, no. Yeah, so the last, like, what was that one with the little dolls in it? Because it was like a free-to-play version of that on 3DS. What's it called again?
Pokemon Shuffle?
Yeah. Is it Shuffle?
Oh,
no. Rumble. Yeah. There was a free-to-play Rumble on the 3DS.
Yep. I played that an ungodly amount.
Yeah, it was. You could play it. You could play it, and it was like some sort of Street Pass integration. If you got Street Pass, you got. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
I missed Street Pass. It was because I got a 3DS right at the end of its life, so I didn't get the full use out of Street Pass, unfortunately. Yeah.
That's depressing.
Yeah, well, I got a 3DS in 2016.
Oh damn.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn. Yeah, that
So
sucks.
I could still just about get Street Pass hits, but now they're all gone. Kika in the Discord says the Mystery Dungeon remake sold 1 million. Oh, did it?
Yeah.
That's decent numbers for a game that probably cost them a shoestring budget. That game. I mean, it looks pretty. I think the like the storybook kind of pencil shading look is nice. But it didn't cost them a lot of money to make that. That's for damn sure.
I mean, I guess we just have different expectations for Pokemon games.
Who, you and I?
No, me and I can't pronounce it.
Kika?
Yes, Kika.
Kika is the pronunciation, yeah.
Yeah.
Those... oh god, I forgot I'm still playing the state of play. I'll stop it because it uses up bandwidth. What was I going to say? Unless you want to watch that. I don't think anyone's watching it, yeah. I don't, still. My expectations, realistic expectations for those Pokemon spin-off games is low, just because historically they've never sold that they've sold well for what they are, but they're not out here selling 20 million. That's for sure. They just can't sell. They've never managed to sell as much as like the regular.
The gameplay isn't enticing enough.
The RPG Pokemon games, nah. I think people like them to varying degrees, and as you said, the Pokemon Company have replaced a lot of those Pokemon spin-offs with these mobile games. Like if we just look at what happened, they haven't released a brand new one in a while. The last one was like they had a new version of the Pokemon Cafe Mix or whatever it's called, and then a new version of Jago, do you remember when they first announced Pokemon Masters X? And do you remember the hashtag? Do you remember the hashtag?
Yes.
Oh my god, it's so funny. For anyone who doesn't remember, when you put together Pokemon Masters and X into one hashtag, which is how they tweeted out the hashtag, it looks like it says posting about Pokemon Master Sex. Is what it looks like, right? And so, oh my god, so the people went wild with that. Yes, Pokemon, exactly, Jago. Yeah, Pokemon Master Sex. That's exactly how it looks. Look like that. Jake. By the way, is anyone wants to join our Discord? Copy invite link. A link. Where's the thing? Anyone wants to join our Discord? Oh wait, hang on. What's happening there? Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. I was going to play the stream. Damn it. No. I shouldn't do it. I'll put it in this one. So you can type, if you want to, like what I did in the Discord is I set up I don't know if you run Discords or whatever, Jago, or, oh no, I don't mean to play the Wii music, damn it. What you think I should have set up here, but I didn't put a lot of channels in here. So I thought, oh, there's hardly anyone in this Discord. If you put a whole lot of channels, it's not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I made this. Nobody uses it. I made this live chat room. Can you see it? I made this where's the Jodie and Genki show? We've got the 2 voice chat rooms, and there's a live chat room.
Oh yeah.
No one uses it. Maybe I should have explained what that is for. That is, I put that there so that when the show's on air, you can chat in there about the show. That's why I made that. Nobody uses it. I should have explained what it was. Maybe, but I did. I wrote in the description what it is. I wrote in the description.
Oh yeah, this is the live chat for the Jodie and Genki show, and then there's a link.
Exactly. So I put that so that people weren't posting it, but everyone posting the notice board. So I don't know if you think I should just get rid of that one, or I should just tell everyone to chat in the live chat room.
Yeah, I should tell everyone to chat in the live chat room if they don't want to chat in the YouTube chat.
Okay, I'll say that if you don't want to chat in the YouTube chat, and some people seem like they don't, yeah, the Pokemon Master Sex memes. Oh god, that was so funny. I'm like, how could you not see that coming? It's like, you could just see it the way it was written on the screen, and they tweeted. Not only did they do that, I think one of those hashtags that had a little picture on the end of it. If I remember, there was a picture. So they planned that out. Like, it wasn't just like
and they paid for it as well.
And they paid for it. They paid for that. And, oh my god, that was trending. Because I saw that trending. I don't know about you. It was trending. I looked at that before I even knew anything about they'd made a new version of the game. And I saw that, what on earth?
Pokemon Master Sex?
Pokemon Master Sex? Why would something like that be trending? That's so bizarre. And I was going to call you Genki there. Jago, I had to click it. I had to click it to see what it was. I had to. I clicked it to try and work out what was going on. And then I saw that it was an official hashtag. And that's when I was like, oh my god, that's so funny. But I think they changed it somehow after that. They did. What did they changed it.
I don't remember.
They got rid of it. They got rid of it because they don't have that hashtag anymore. They don't use it anymore. They use something else, or maybe they just use Pokemon Masters without the X on the X. But the game is Pokemon Masters X. Oh, you said you used to play it, right?
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah, so I've never played it.
I stopped playing it about the time when Lily got added.
Oh, okay.
The special Lily and Lunala unit.
So you just didn't want to try and I guess you have to go through the gacha to try and get her.
Oh no, I got her, but I didn't pay for her because by then I had learned. But I mean, it just wasn't. I didn't find the gameplay too enjoyable to play it anymore.
I've never played it. Do you know which one I used to really like that they shut down, and I'm so mad because it was the
Pokemon Duel.
Yes.
I never knew anyone that played that. I never knew anyone that played it.
It was good. Do you know what? It was hella pay to win. It was hella pay to win if you played against other people. I'm so mad that game was gone. Please make a console game with that Pokemon Company. Good lord. So apparently it was there was those little figures used to actually exist in real life. They didn't look exactly because some of them were in, let's say, impossible. You couldn't make that in real life the way they did it. Like some of them were like jumping in the air and things like that, right? So you couldn't make that without having little stands on it. But apparently that was a real game at one point because they have the trading card game and they made this figure game. So it was a real physical game, but it bombed. It didn't sell well at all. And then you can join. Hang on, I've got a message from Zero Drag. Zero Drag says I can find. Oh, let's bring, because I was about to end the show, but I'll bring you in. Yeah, I was about to end it actually. But Zero Drag, I'll bring you in since you joined and since you have that amazing profile picture. Oh my god. Zero Drag's profile picture. For anyone who doesn't know, it looks like a Giga Chad's demi fiends basically.
Hello.
Hello, Zero Drag. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much.
No problem. It's great to have you. Another Brit? What's happening?
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
Finally. Yeah. So do you have time off work?
No, I'm at work, but it's so quiet. Everyone else left. I'm the only one here.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic. We love how it is on Friday.
Yeah. Awesome. That's sneaky code to a Discord. Yeah, so how's it going? What would you like to talk about today?
Probably about the state of play. I have way too much to talk about it.
Oh,
really?
Go for it.
Please do.
Honestly, I was about to go to sleep, right? I was very tired since I fasted for most of yesterday. And then the state of play was at 9 o'clock. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go and watch it. And then after watching 40 minutes worth of it, I just came off with the impression that this was Jeff Bob was not joking when he said that this is a low-key state of play. But it was probably the worst ones I've ever seen by far.
Yes.
It was, and Jeff Grubb was 100% right. And I think even though he said that, people were still kind of not hyped up, but they were
finally Sony's gonna say something about video games.
Yeah, they thought that maybe there was going to be first party stuff in there. And I don't know about you, Zero Dragon Jago. I think part of the issue is that I feel like Sony doesn't set expectations. For example, with the state of plays, we have had state of plays where they I don't know if you remember this. One of the state of plays they announced, or they not announced, but did a new at the time a brand new trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake. At the time, it was a new. Like,
it was February 2021.
How do you remember the exact date, Jago? What the hell?
Because that's when I decided I needed to get a PS5 before June.
Oh, okay. So you remember the exact date of the walking encyclopedia here of state of plays. Yeah. So
Generally forgot about that time. Yeah.
right. So that was a really big announcement in a regular state of play. It wasn't a showcase, right? So we have a situation where when you have a state of play, you don't know necessarily if there's going to be a big announcement like that. You don't know if there's going to be first party stuff in there, and you don't know if it's going to be like a whole lot of indie stuff, because they've had ones where it's just a whole bunch of indie stuff, right? And they'll say, oh, there's other third party announcements. We're like, okay, well, are we talking about like Street Fighter 6, or are we talking about Volcano High? What's going on here? So we don't know, right? So I feel like the expectations aren't set like that. Now when it comes to the showcase, the ones that are specifically named showcase, it's normally a big, well, they used to have them around like E3 time, right? With first party stuff, so you know what's going to be in there. But I feel like with the state of plays, they need to say, this isn't, I hate to say it, but they need to do what Nintendo does. Nintendo will have, they have a direct,
A movie direct.
They have
there'll be no video game information.
yeah, they have the movie direct. I think they're using the direct branding because it's, you know, big at this point. They will have, they have direct minis. They have partner direct minis, right? And then they have indie direct. Oh, they don't call it indie direct anymore. They call it Indie World. And then Pokemon Presents used to be called Pokemon Direct, but the Pokemon company were like, nah, F that. We're doing our own thing. And now they're called Pokemon Presents, but they used to be called Pokemon Direct. So I think like if they did that, but they had different names, or at least maybe they don't have to do it, just literally tell you this is going to be indies. This is going to be indies. This is good. This is not going to have. This is third party. This is all third party. So they will kind of say little things like that, but I feel like they need to be more specific, because people went into this thinking, well, are we going to see more Final Fantasy 16? Because we have not seen extended gameplay of that game. That's why people wanted to see it. And why people were like, okay, it was good that Street Fighter 6 and Resident Evil 4 were there, but it's like, those games are always going to come out, and we've seen a lot of those. We want to see other stuff. And then there was no first party stuff. We knew there was going to be VR, but then there was like, do you know what I mean? What do you think, Zero Drag?
I think I get what Sony wanted to do with like showcasing VR. PSVR 2 having just come out, they wanted to showcase that they had more software coming in.
Yeah.
But at least they were going like quick fire through all the games, so like to make sure that they didn't like dominate the entire presentation with PSVR. I think that was a big complaint from the very first state of play, was that they had a lot of games that were being revealed, but they were focused on PSVR at the time. So I think what Sony's approach now was to make sure that everything was brief and concise with PSVR 2. But I feel like you're correct on like how Sony like phrases their state of plays. I think they don't really like do it to like the same level that Nintendo does, and then now everyone's like thinking that, oh, this might have a big Megaton. I think one of the games that was being discussed was a possible Metal Gear Solid collection. I think Andy Robinson at BGC.
Yes.
He killed any idea of that. I'm coping very hard.
Hello?
So.
Oh, yeah, sorry, you broke up for a sec. What did you say?
Oh,
It's
so.
coping very hard.
Because I was hoping that he was teasing about a collection, right? That on some news on the VGC podcast, and it turned out that not only has Konami said, oh, they've made it less clear whether they want to like go ahead with the collection. They've decided that the remake of MGS3 would be a test bed for any future Metal Gear title.
Okay, so this is via VCGs. We're talking about that, like the Andy Robertson guy.
Yeah. Okay,
so I wasn't following this like 100% closely, but I did see that there was a rumor about that. And so he's saying the information that he's hearing is that they're going to do Metal Gear Solid 3 remake first, and then like a complete remake or a remaster.
I think it's a remake.
A remake.
Virtuoso, yeah, Virtuoso are the guys who like currently working on it, and if it does well commercially, they will start exploring the possibility of a collection. So in terms of like the state of play, it just killed any chance of that even popping up.
So didn't Insider Gaming also say something about that? So I'm looking at this. Isn't this that site called Insider Gaming? Am I going crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Insider Gaming, right? Is this it? I'm looking at the site now. Is this the right site?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
With the rumours in it? Oh, maybe I should just... Oh, no, here it is, look! No, you're right, they said it here as well. MGS3 remake and... come on, this is hardcore copium. And Castlevania? Are you out of your mind? MGS Remake 3 and Castlevania could appear at E3. Oh, they're saying E3, they're not saying State of Play. That's still copium. It's copium. So yeah, they said it was they said it on the VGC. I've never listened to that VGC podcast. I didn't even know they had one.
I think they just started one relatively recently. This week's podcast was the first one they did.
Andy Robertson appearing as a guest. I think he was a guest. Talking about okay. Let me go on to VGC then. Let me look at the VGC. VGC. No, it's called, what's it called? Video Games Chronicles. Video, can't spell. Video Games. Sorry if the typing's loud.
It's alright.
Games Chronicles.
Yeah. Well, I think my keyboard's pretty loud as well.
It is.
Yeah.
Let's see. Thunderfall, Wolong, God of War, Hogwarts. Let's see. 17 hours ago. How long ago did they have that rumour? See on the front. But yeah, it was probably, let me see what's on here. Yeah, so I did hear that rumour. So this is the thing. People start getting carried away. They start getting carried away thinking that there's going to be like a Metal Gear Solid, collection there or whatever, which would be a big announcement, but there was nothing like that there. It was mostly games that had already been announced, apart from like the VR stuff, which for me personally, VR has no interest for me, because even if I wanted to use it, I can't because of the condition I have, and like it affects my eyes. Therefore I can't use VR. So yeah, it doesn't interest me. And the thing is, I don't know about you, Zero Drag, but like the VR games, like I'm sure they look different in VR. Like when you're actually experiencing it, it's quite a different experience. But when you're watching it, they all look like indie games. Like, and I don't have a problem with indie games, but it's like they all look like that. They all have that same look. You'll
have that bit of jank, visual jank to it.
I take one look at the at VR games. I think I only tried it once with like Fruit Ninja VR, and like a lot of those titles feel like they're like test beds for like something much bigger. PSVR 1, like although it felt like a good or best attempt at Sony for like doing it, a lot of the titles that were released on it, they just did not really feel like full games. First of all,
right.
And it didn't help, but at the time, the PS4 in and of itself, I think the hardware just wasn't fully equipped for VR.
It was.
Although I think they did do PSVR 2 does feel a lot more premium compared to like the very first, like to its predecessor, and the fact that the PS5 is actually backed by actual decent hardware for once probably strengthens its case. I think the only problem right now is just the pricing. Like I feel like the fact that PSVR 2 costs a lot more than like a regular PS5 console, I think that's probably like the barrier to entry that Sony will have to face.
How much is it in the UK?
Yeah, how much does it cost here?
For I think as far as I remember, like for a standalone VR headset, 530. If you wanted to get the Horizon game, 570, and the PS5 is like £480.
Yeah.
It's really
I think
good.
the price delta
£50
increases
extra.
if you buy a digital console.
I didn't realise it was that much more expensive than the console.
£50, damn.
Yeah, for reference, VR1 cost the same price as the PS4, like at the time.
It was like
$350.
$400, £350. So I understand like that. Obviously, there's inflation involved, but also even with inflation, it's still way more expensive, right?
Yeah, I'd imagine that like in the long term, Sony will try to aggressively like drop the price. I think towards the end of like the PS4's life cycle, they were trying to decrease PSVR's price to like sub £200 to make sure they could get take up to increase. I think with the fact that VR2 right now is expensive, I feel in the long term, once more games are releasing for PSVR2, they'd want to like get the price to drop down over time.
Yeah, that's it's around. I'd say they'd probably do that. Especially if maybe I don't know what the sales are, the pre-orders and stuff like that. But it didn't seem to be like explosive sales. Let's put it that way. I agree with you what you're saying with like the software. Like most of the games feel like experiences. Of what it looks like to me, they look like experiences rather than like a full game. The closest thing to that they have their big game is the Horizon Call of the Mountain game, and then they do have the GT7 VR mode, yeah, which you can experience. I think you can basically experience the full game. I hope if you have an iron stomach, because I can't imagine like what that was, how sick that would make you feel. But so yeah, some people can do it, I guess. So, but everything else kind of, it is just like an experience or like a kind of like a mini game or like not like a full like game. There are some games like that. That's why people keep saying, I hear this, I don't know about you, but I hear this all the time. Where people are like, Half-Life Alex, you need to bring over Half-Life Alex. And I think if that was going to be there, but like anytime soon, within the next couple of years, I think it would have been announced by now. Because it's not going to be in a launch window, because it would have been announced by now. And I think like, is Valve incentivized to put that on PlayStation VR 2? Didn't they make that game to sell their own headset? Their own VR headset?
I'm pretty sure they did, and I think Valve. I don't know how Valve's like approach to consoles has changed, but I feel like for like the foreseeable future, they really have not like decided like to like focus on like porting their titles to other systems.
They haven't, and I think what Valve, this is, you know, you can chime in with this. I feel like maybe their VR, the one they made for in conjunction with Half-Life Alyx, maybe because it was so expensive, it maybe didn't take off like what they wanted it to, and plus they didn't produce any other software for it. And I feel like what they've done, and what they always do, is that they've moved on to something else, and they've moved on to the Steam Deck in terms of hardware. That's what I think. I don't think they're doing anything. What are they doing with that? They're not pushing it or anything like that. It's just Steam Deck, because they've come onto something that's selling. Now the Steam Deck is doing well for what it is, right? But it's not selling millions. The last thing we got there is it's sold. We heard that it sold 1 million. So it's over 1 million, but probably less than 2 million. So that's good for that sort of device. But it's not. Probably it's not tons, and plus I heard they're losing money on it. On the cheapest one anyway. So I've got this room anyway. I've got this rumor up on the screen that you was talking about, Zero Drag. A virtuous recruitment video could be hinting at a Metal Gear Solid project.
Yeah.
That is indeed Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. That was what they were teasing. This was late 2021 when they were teasing that they were working on one, and it was a bit of early in development. I feel like things must have progressed pretty quickly to get up to that point.
I'm looking at this on the screenshot from the video. I put it on the stream. And there's like a Metal Gear Solid box or book or something on the side.
It's an art book.
An art
Okay.
book. They have an art book on the side. I don't know what these images are, whatever they're working on. But yeah, I mean, it could have just been there. It wouldn't be surprising to me that a game development studio has like art books like that in their studio. So yeah, they zoomed in on it here. You can quite clearly see Metal Gear Solid. Yes, the art of Metal Gear Solid is what it is. It's really that book is huge. It's a big chunky book. Usually this wouldn't justify attention, but VG sources claimed last year that Virtuous was working on a new version of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. VGC later reported that an employee at Virtuous had claimed it's working on an unannounced AAA action-adventure remake, following a report that it had been handed the MGS license. So this is all rumours at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the only thing, we had the whole Silent Hill stuff they did. Mousy said, sorry Zero, my work, my co-workers. Okay, you don't... Yeah, don't worry about it. You don't need to join, Mousy. I know I completely forgot. I will speak to Genki about maybe if we can do one another time. The problem is, it's just like, it's literally the time difference. It's literally the time difference because he is like, was it 8 or 9 hours ahead of me? So it's difficult to coordinate. So I always do it at a time that's convenient for Genki, basically, since he has to look after his kids and stuff like that. So it's just the best time that's for him, right? So because I'm like way more flexible. Someone else sent me a message, but I don't know. I saw a message or something. Well, I can't see it right now. So yeah, so there was that rumour, and now this is a complete, the thing what was on a VGC podcast, for some reason I can't find it on there. Did I have a link to it? Probably. And they're talking about Castlevania. Yeah, there's Castlevania DLC and Dead Cells. I mean, okay. Why Konami has not made a new Castlevania game recently is beyond me, especially how popular Metroidvanias are now at this point. Why, I don't know. People say MGS3 is the best in the franchise. Okay, well, here's the thing. So people on Copium, because none of this showed up. This wasn't there. Oh my god, are you seeing this site? Look, there's a section here called Become an Insider. Oh my god, I need to click this. It's what the hell? It's on Insider Gaming. There's a tab that says Become an Insider, and it says have news to share. You can send information, images, video, and documentation to Tom's secure email at blah blah blah. To protect the item. Oh my god. Okay, so you got to provide evidence, and it's got to be corroborated by at least 3 individuals and stuff. Wow, they want people to come to them and leak stuff to them. That's wild. That is wild. Okay, yeah. So Zero Drag, what's your let's say score out of 10 for the state play?
I'm honestly thinking it's a 3 or 4.
Yeah. I don't know if I can disagree with that. In terms of like the positives, what was your favourite announcement from the state of play?
I know we've seen a lot of both of these titles, but Capcom carried. They had Street Fighter 6. They were revealing they revealed a new character, Lily. I liked her combos.
Yeah.
They revealed Zangief and Kami's new designs. They're going on with a full reset with that game, and I'm really enjoying it. Considering how well the closed betas have been going, I think they're looking to right the ship with Street Fighter 6 after what happened with 5. And Resident Evil 4 remake, I can only really say so much that it's shaping up to be a really good remake to the original title.
Yeah, I mean I agree with you. Both those games look amazing. I think the reason why most people, and probably yourself as well, Zero Drake, are scoring it not as high was because like we've seen those games before. Even though that they had a new character reveal and stuff like that, we have seen those games at least 2 times before, right? So it wasn't like it wasn't as exciting as like from the first time when they did the reveal Street Fighter 6 that wasn't at State of Play. So it's not as exciting, and there wasn't like a lot of new announcements. So that's why it felt to me as well that some of that stuff in there, like honestly, it could have been like a blog or a tweet. I don't want to be mean, but some of it could have been like a blog or a tweet. And I know they wanted to promote PSVR 2 and the games. It's just come out, so they need to promote it. I'm like, okay, so they could have just done like a separate VR State of Play. What do you think? Maybe they should do the VR State of Play separately. I really feel like they should. Because it's kind of like a bait and switch when they do like VR and then say, oh, it's going to have third-party stuff, and then people thinking, oh, it could be Metal Gear Solid 3 remake and stuff like this. So, yeah. Yeah, it was a 3 or 4 out of 10 for me. Like I said, I thought that Humanity game looked really good. Maybe it's just me, but because I like puzzle games, right? So I thought that looks really good. And Baldur's Gate 3 looks good, even though Genki's like, oh, no, I don't think so. Genki, you're not here now, so you can't say anything. so I thought that looked pretty cool. Like, I don't know, man. I thought that looked pretty cool. And yeah, in terms of like, I guess they weren't brand new announcements because we knew about that stuff. But it was kind of like a lot more. I think they got release dates. I think they both had release dates, right? I don't know if
no, Baldur's Gate, I don't think it did.
Oh, it didn't? Oh, okay.
I think it did, yeah. 31st of August, 2023.
Oh, okay, it did. Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought you meant it didn't have a release date before yesterday.
It didn't. It didn't have a release date before yesterday. Yeah. Okay, so it's releasing in August, which is good. It's out of the way of some of these other games. And Humanity looked cool. I have no interest in VR. And like I said to me, the VR games, I don't know, they look a bit samey. If you had the money, would either of you get the VR?
I would, but I think the biggest problem for me is space.
Oh, right, yeah.
I share a room with my brother. I don't know if I'm gonna like come on to like get the PSVR, connect it to my PS5, and then try and like move around whilst I'm trying to play the game. I just not sure if I'm able to like play with that small amount of space in my room. So it's probably leaning towards a no.
I don't know if they give a recommended minimum space, but when I watched some videos of the setup of it, it scans like your play area. Like you can like, it'll scan the whole area. It looks really cool actually. And then you can use the motion control in the controller, like a pointer, to kind of like even like customize your play area and make it like smaller or bigger in certain areas. So that's how you can do that. But maybe there is like, maybe they say, recommended like 2 meters square or something like that. I don't know. It could be something like that. But I understand it's a lot of the games you can play standing up. There's some games you can play sitting down. Or some of them are kind of like designed around sitting down as well. But I understand that the room is an issue. And I think that's probably an issue for maybe a lot of people. The room. But as you said before, I didn't realise how expensive it was actually. the price is probably the biggest obstacle, the price. And I think another obstacle is that it makes you feel sick. It's essentially that's the thing that's always like confused me about VR. It's like it can be cool, but like it's going to make a lot of people sick. Like you can't, and I've seen people say, well, you need to get your VR legs. You get your VR legs. You keep using it until like you get used to the sickness and it goes away. Right, but I'm like, who wants to do that? Like, oh, and I keep
Interesting.
doing this thing until you never heard of that people say you need to get your VR legs.
No, I mean I've never gotten sick playing VR though.
Okay, well, you're maybe one of the lucky ones. But some
Yeah,
people,
I mean,
there's always a percentage of people that will get sick with it. Which you can't say that about a regular game on a monitor or television. Just a
yeah,
flat game. You know, good.
yeah.
I know
I mean,
some people get sick with first person, right? But
I've seen people say they get sick playing games with motion controls.
yeah, I can understand if you can be susceptible to that. And like I've never played Marvel Spider-Man, the PS4 one. I've never played it. Because I watched footage of the game. Footage of the game, and it made me dizzy. Like just seeing, I don't know why, just like following with my eyes, following Spider-Man swinging around like that made me dizzy. So it kind of put me off. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play this. If just watching it just watching someone else play it is making me feel dizzy. So I can understand that people can get sick. People have different thresholds for that type of thing, right?
Yeah.
So I can understand why someone would get sick. Let me see these comments here. Would it be a full remake? I wonder, like Resident Evil, or maybe a Metroid Prime remasters. This is JT Bruce says that. Well, the rumors that it's a full remake. I don't know what that would look like, but that's the rumor. Because isn't there already a remastered version of that game? I don't know.
Yeah, there was. I think in like 2011 they released the HD collection on PS3 and 360. So what they did was up the resolution to 720p, and then the game ran at 60 FPS versus the original 30.
I heard that I just saw something saying that they delisted them.
Yeah, like the biggest problem with those was it was historical footage, which Konami didn't renew, and then they delisted the games. Peace Walker was still kept, but then they renewed the licenses, but they still haven't brought them back to the PS3 or 360 stores.
Oh, they ain't putting them back on there.
They said they would.
I mean, is it really commercially viable to be putting those games back on the PS3 and 360 stores?
Probably not really. I don't know. Like, you can make an argument for the 360 store because
Series and Xbox One, yeah.
They have backwards compatibility. But then, like, the problem with the PS3 store, it's slow, and like, I don't think anyone uses it.
They don't. They tried to shut it down.
They made it like almost impossible to add money to as well. You have to do some weird thing to add money to your account on there.
Yeah,
Right.
they stopped. You can't use your card on the PS3 or Vita stores anymore.
You can't.
Yeah.
And like the worst part is that whenever you boot up the PS4 on the PS3, it is very slow. Once you're browsing through the games and what you want to buy, it becomes like it comes to a point where it becomes like unusable. I think it was fine when they updated it like back in 2012,
Right.
but then like over time after like the PS4 release, the slow became much more slower. And then Sony, at some point, just didn't really care to like make sure it was keeping up with like speed and usability. It is an awful store to navigate, and it also feels like it's a precursor to like the PS4's UI too.
So that's a big issue. So it's like, I feel like, from Konami's point of view, I mean, why spend money putting them back on those old stores when no one's going to buy them? You might as well make them for modern platforms, or remaster or whatever for modern platforms if they do bring them back. So that's annoying. It's just, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to this whole digital future because of this nonsense. So yeah, that's too bad. But yeah, this collection did not materialize. Okay, let me just look at these comments. Where's the comments at? GameKiller says, Metal Gear Solid 3 could be impressive. I'm glad I still have my Metal Gear Solid collection for PS3 because it doesn't seem like we'll get those games on newer consoles. For the time being, no. Although it is possible. Right now, no. J2 Blue, I think the biggest problem is how these state of plays start and end. I don't think they know how to do it in a way they know how to do it in a way that's exciting, that makes it exciting. I agree. They didn't have like. I'm sorry. I need to say it. They need to copy Nintendo. Nintendo has the and one more thing. You know, in like pretty much every direct, it's one more thing. They did, and the only time Sony I remember where they really did that well was that time when they did the Final Fantasy VII remake trailer. Was it Intergrades?
Yep, Intergrades.
How do you remember this off the top of your head? How do you remember?
Because I love Final Fantasy.
That doesn't mean you have to remember the dates and it was in the state of plays. How do you remember that? That's got nothing to do with the actual game. What the hell? What? That's he was a walking encyclopedia. I told you. Yeah, they need to do that one more thing. First of all, you start it off with a bang, right? So with Nintendo Directs, there'll be something like new and exciting at the beginning.
Yeah, back when we had Smash reveals, they started off with Smash reveals.
Smash reveals.
Yep.
A lot of them started with Smash reveals. The latest one
started with Pikmin.
Was Pikmin, which is not exciting for everybody. Exactly, it's not exciting for everybody, but it was still a biggish announcement because we hadn't had a good look at that game before. We just had screenshots or whatever. So it was a proper look at it. They showed gameplay, right? They showed that full gameplay.
Yeah, it was like 4 minutes or something.
Yeah, and then at the end it was Tears of the Kingdom, which was a big. So you started with something biggish and then ended with something biggish, and they don't do that with state of players. They did it that one time. I don't know about any others. That's the only one I can. Jago probably knows. I don't know. J2 Blue. The biggest barrier of entry VR is definitely the motion sickness or dizziness. Yep. GameKiller64 says, I believe the state of play they had around E3 last year was going to be their norm. Well, that's what I thought. It was pretty strong. Lately, state of plays feel like more like a mini directs in comparison. I'll agree with you. I feel like I said with like if they change the naming or something, right? They're more like Nintendo Direct Minis or Partner Direct Minis than like a full. If we have a full, because Nintendo was totally in advance. If you have a full direct, people. If it's a Nintendo Direct Mini, people are like, no. If it's a Partner Direct Mini, they're like, no. Apart from the time they had that one, do you remember the Partner Direct Mini they had in 2020? Everybody were pissed. I'm trying not to sound like I'm swearing. People were mad as hell.
Yeah, we had 3 of them. There was one of them that had SMT5.
The one with SMT5. WWE. Oh, SMT fans are going, oh yes, let's go. And everyone else was like, what the hell is this?
Everyone else was like, that's the worst thing I've ever seen.
The worst thing I've seen in my life. All the YouTube videos telling how bad it was. I'm like, hold up. We had 2 SMT games announced. What are you talking about? We haven't seen SMT5 for 5 bloody years. That game was MIA. And they revealed the whole thing in one direct. It was like, oh, whoa, there it is. It does exist. People thought that game was like vaporware, it was cancelled, and then it showed up. So everyone was excited. Everyone else was like, oh, that's terrible. Was that the one where they had the Bakugan in it? Was it that one?
No, that was one where they hyped it up. They hyped that one up.
Oh. What? They had, I think it was just Bakugan and then like
They hyped it up by saying that they have a game from Way Forward.
Oh, it's not called Bakugan. It's called Baku. Oh, come on.
A notable series or something like that. So everyone was trying to think of something, and then it was Bakugan.
Yeah. People weren't. I don't know what happened to that game. Probably didn't do the best.
That was the best thing ever.
People were not happy about that one, but the one with SMT5 was good. But people were absolutely. Agree. The reason why people were so furious though was because we had it was like in the middle of like lockdown and all that, right? So we didn't have a full direct, and people were like getting antsy and crazy, and I'm like, I was just sitting back like, you do realise there's a pandemic and like hundreds of thousands of people are dying. Like what are we doing here? You know, it was just wild. I'm trying not to swear. It was wild, right? And yeah, I thought that was really good. I was hyped up. I thought it was amazing, and then everyone else is like, no, this ain't it. But So when people see partner direct me, that's when they're like, oh no man, no. So we had one like last year. I think that's the one where they
they announced Nier Automata.
Nier Automata and Persona 5 were right.
And the other two as well.
And the other,
Persona
3 and 4. Right, so that one they said was a partner direct. They called it that.
Yeah.
So everyone know partner direct, no first party. But even then, people saying, "Oh, well, it could."
And they said it wasn't. They said it wasn't going to be streamed as well. They said it was just going to be on demand.
Oh, wasn't that because the Queen died or something? Was it that?
No,
one?
that was another one. That was another one.
That was the September direct.
That was so dumb.
So
Do you know what? That was dumb. But when we got the reveal name, the name reveal of the game, then I was like, oh, it's dumb. And then I saw the name, and I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Okay, I was like, I'll allow it then. I'll allow it. Okay, that name's kind of a bit close. So, yeah, they had to do what they did is they just dropped it after it had already got that, because apart from Jago, who's just whatever, he's just crazy. He has to have the UK one. Everyone else is like, nah, I just watch the US one. So
that one I actually watched with OJ. Okay,
that one you did. Oh, that's only because there was no UK one though.
Yeah.
I never think to watch the UK. Maybe I should.
I watch it because I don't like that they dub over it. That's why.
Yeah, I always watch the reaction. I always watch reactions though. I normally watch OJ.
I used to watch Etika.
Yeah,
I used to watch Etika.
I used to watch this.
And then after he passed away, I just watched it to the UK live.
So Etika, I really miss Etika. His reactions were the absolute best. Were the absolute best. Etika was amazing. I loved Etika.
I remember. Oh, go on, keep going.
No, I remember his last
his stream on Instagram.
No, the last live stream he did on YouTube. It was on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
It was live, and at that time I was like, "Is this live?" And I didn't realize it was like that was his, you know what note.
Oh no, that was his last video.
No, it was live streamed. I think it was live streamed. I was watching it. I didn't know what I didn't know what was happening. Anyway, that's kind of depressing. But let's talk about that. Yeah. Etika was he was the GOAT. He was
genuinely brilliant. Brilliant content creator.
He was a brilliant content creator, and since he passed away, no one has even come close. There's people that have tried. There's someone who's tried. I think you know who I'm talking about. That person who's trying to be like an Etika. What's his name again?
Fidel?
Yes! You knew it! You knew! How did you know? Yes, Fidel! Him! The Sonic guy. He's a hardcore Sonic fan. I'm sorry, but come on. He puts...
I like him.
He's alright, but he puts it on though, come on. He puts it on too much. Whereas Etika felt more natural, but yeah, the only like reaction that I really like watching now would be like Roger Space. Roger Space has good reactions.
He does good ones.
So he does really good ones. And occasionally, if there's some like Kingdom Hearts, so even though I'm not into Kingdom Hearts, I'll go and watch what's it, HMC? HMC. I'm thinking about H&M or something. No, HMC. No, so what's it? HMK. What does that even stand? What does that stand for?
Hyrule something killer. I don't know.
Oh, is it something like that? I thought it was his name.
I'm just assuming because he's a big Zelda fan, and I used to watch his Zelda videos.
Yeah, like his Zelda videos or his like Kingdom Hearts like stuff. His reactions, but I don't normally go and seek him out. If I go and watch a reaction, like I will go and watch one or two reactions after a direct. I normally always watch Roger's Base. His ones are good. JT Bruce says I miss Etika so much. Yeah, I really miss.
I watched him from when I was like 12 years old.
Oh my god, you was that young. Oh my god, that's just ridiculous that you was an actual child. He was an actual child. Yeah, like what's sad though is that his actual channel's gone because of what happened. If anyone was there at the end. Dude, I watched that live, and I'll describe it. Did you see it? I'll describe it to you
Yes.
later. Oh, you saw it. Okay.
Yeah.
You was a child. You shouldn't have been watching that.
I was not a child.
He was a child.
This was 2019.
He was just about not a child. Oh my god. Yeah, it wasn't even. It was like really creepy, weird stuff as well that I don't want to get into. I watched it and I was like, what?
Why is he posting this to his YouTube?
Yeah, he was trying to nuke it basically, and it got nuked. And
then he went back to Iceman.
yeah, but all that content's gone. Apart from the stuff that people reposted, it's all gone.
Yeah.
Which is really, really sad. Which is really, really sad. So there's some stuff that, because he just let anybody use his stuff. So his stuff got reposted. There's like did some archives and stuff, but it's not everything. A lot of it's gone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, YouTube just refused to. I'm sure people asked him to ask YouTube to bring it back.
I think he said it one time.
Yeah,
He's
they
gonna use
did.
whatever
They
he
did
wants.
so after he died. They asked YouTube to reinstate the channel, and they didn't do so.
Yeah, that's absolute BS.
Yeah, I think it was the Etika Memories Twitter account that said they asked YouTube and they said no.
Yeah, damn. That's a very good Twitter account. I follow that one. Last year in June.
Last year during the partner showcase with Nier and Persona.
Was that in June? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was June 29th.
I can't believe that. How do you know the exact... Jacob, how do you know the exact dates? Not
I'm
even
good
the
with
month, the
numbers.
dates. He
I'm
remembers.
good with numbers.
That's amazing.
Have you got a
good with
photographic memory?
I'm good with numbers.
Do you have a photographic memory?
No, I'm just good with numbers.
It's good with
Specifically dates.
Wow, okay, that's pretty impressive. Game Killer 64. Remember the discourse with the partner directs? Laughing emoji! It was definitely one of the few. I was definitely one of the few popping up for SMT5. Yeah, all the SMT fans were like, oh yeah, let's go, and everyone just like, they ripped that direct apart, even though they specifically said it was a partner direct. And I was like, well, hold up, this game everyone thought was vaporware. Day 2 Blue, Nintendo really gonna hype up Bakugan. They did. Skull emoji. By the way, I don't like that they changed the emojis on Twitter. But then again, what is that noise? Please stop that noise. Okay, is that Zero Drag? You need to stop that, please. Okay, J2 Blue Engage says I like Fidel, but his fans are a bit weird. Yeah, they're like Rabbids or Sonic fans, right? Right, so I'm gonna wrap up the show because we've got 45 minutes of overtime here.
It was June 28th. It was a Tuesday. Sorry.
Oh, we're gonna take wrong. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's
It was June 28th.
close. 28th. Very close.
It was a Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh, because that's when Nintendo does that. Apparently they're not going to be at E3 this year. Apparently no E3.
Well, it's not surprising. They don't have any Zelda to show. And I mean, are people really going to show up for Pikmin? You know, like maybe, you know, like 10 people will. But
not as like a big new announcement type situation, no.
Yeah. I don't think Pikmin can hold up a show like Smash and Zelda did in 2017. And I mean, Mario did 2017. 2018 was Smash. Zelda was 2016. There we go.
Wow. I don't even need to use Google. So there you go. So I want to say thank you so much to Jago, Zero Drag. Thank you for joining me. It's been an amazing conversation. Really enjoyed your company.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank
also,
you for having me.
Thank you. Nice to speak to you. Thank you to we had Kika in here. Kika didn't join. I can't.
He was just in the Discord chat.
Sorry, he was in the Discord chat, and we had Vinnie Mac, and Genki was here. But Genki's gone now. Genki's sleeping. Okay. Thank you everyone. Thanks so much, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye. Say bye.